Welcome in, everybody. It is finally happening. The 8th and final chapter of Higurashi has started.
It's been a very, very long way here, but we made it.
How long has it been?
A long time ago. Psycho, congratulations on being last.
Nice.
How
Congratulations. Welcome in, Psycho. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing?
Finally.
I don't even think even Discord can tell me when we.
No, because
started.
we didn't number the streams. So you're not really gonna find that.
Well, I can tell you when I uploaded it, but to
Alex,
YouTube.
long time no see. How you've been? Congratulations
Welcome in.
on being first.
Nice. How are you
How have
doing?
you been? It
What's
must
a
be-
Higurashi and why do they cry? I believe was our first Higurashi stream, and that happened on the 19th of March 2024.
Oh shit, a year and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, that seems longer than I thought.
To be fair, there's a November in between where we only play horror-related games.
Even
then-
that doesn't save the...
Then there was you abandoning us for like 6 weeks in total in that time frame.
Yeah, but even then...
I'm just saying, a lot of the things that are or are not happening are because of Tifa.
It's still over a year.
Yeah, 1.5. That's why I jokingly said back then to Mame, we are probably gonna finish this in February 2026. My plan, and that leads me to today, is that we still finish this tonight. Welcome to the 24-hour stream. No.
24 hours is gonna cut it. At this point, I might even be willing to do a 24-hour stream just to finish it. But I don't think 24 hours, even if we speed read, is gonna be possible.
No, don't worry about that. That's not gonna happen. It actually could work. No, not for us. Tifa and I have actually had a very sensible, smart conversation about this yesterday when we were arguing about the schedule, because originally the plan was to do something else today and tomorrow. But then I took a little piece of paper and I wrote down, between now and when we're both back from the vacations, up until November, we have 23 streams.
We can also decide to continue it if we are close to the end by November. I don't want to break it up for now.
I will.
No, not if we're like 3 streams away.
November
No.
is an institution
Nah.
and we will be done by
Yeah,
then.
the end of Higurashi is part of November, if anything.
No, not if I have a word.
I have the other half of the word. Melix, glad you're doing well. Good to
Yes.
hear.
Better than
How are
our
we
schedule,
doing?
apparently. As I was
Vacation,
trying to say, if we don't start now, we only have 23 streams. If after the vacation we also want to break it up a bit and maybe do something else 1 or 2 days of a week, there would be less buffer left in case anything happens, like one of us gets sick or we have to cancel a stream because of work stuff or other life things. So just in case, and because I do want to finish Higurashi this year, and if it's up to me, before November, we started now.
Hear me out. Higurashi is horror. I fully agree with you there.
You have a
which
point
is exactly why it would still fit in November if we are near the end.
What isn't horror is being rated by Ranger's Hell.
Ranger!
Love.
I
Welcome in, everybody.
am really glad you got to fix the Baldur's Gate issues.
Tifa's already in the raid. Ranger was playing Baldur's Gate 3. I know this because I watched him for most of the stream. / listened to because I was on a walk. How was the rest of your stream, Ranger?
Get raided. No, you, Benjima.
Welcome in, Benjima. Oh shit, Benjima's here. Break. No. It was a total shot in the dark and I'm glad it worked. I am very happy for you. And for myself, because now I get to watch you play it.
Yeah. It's gonna be a fun walkthrough.
Tifa made me a cup of tea and it's still very hot. Also,
I didn't leave enough room for cold water.
quick shaming. What's this nondescript paper tag here, you might ask? Don't tea bags, at least the ones we usually buy, have like a label or something on them?
This is a white label.
No, that would be really smart actually. We bought a package of tea when we went to Norway and we didn't finish all of it, so we took it along. And their no-name store brand actually doesn't really have a label. I mean, it does have one on the box.
It's quite a shitty tea as well.
It has a flavor.
Yeah, but not a good one. But to be fair, we picked the cheapest stuff out there because we were cheap. And even then, it is still expensive tea for normal standards here.
How much do we pay for like 50 tea bags of no-name, no-brand stuff?
The 100
plain black tea.
Actually, the 50 is $1.
Okay. Well, this was like 120. Everything's more expensive in Norway.
Yeah, it was a bit more, I think. Doesn't matter.
I'm really happy I don't remember basically anything from the game other than the brain stuff because that's gross. That leaves an impact on you. Yeah.
With Baldur's Gate, it also doesn't really matter if you remember things, because with every playthrough you will run into something new.
Probably, yeah. It's big enough for that.
Yeah, I'm doing a third playthrough in one, and I'm encountering scenes and cutscenes.
You're doing a third playthrough in one?
Yeah, I'm doing a third playthrough at the moment. And I'm running into scenes and cutscenes that I have not seen before.
To be fair, when we play, I think the last time you played it, which I think was when we played together, was like a year or so ago.
Even then?
Yeah, but they added even more stuff after that. They're now done supporting the game with like official updates and patches, to my knowledge, or like content updates. But Lariat added stuff for like 1.5 years, 2 years almost, I think.
Yeah, but nothing like story-wise, I think. Did they?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Little bits at least.
Well, there's plenty to see either way.
Yes. Good luck remembering all of Baldur's Gate 3. I couldn't do it. Ranger, please enjoy a drink. Hydration is important.
Cheers.
And I can turn off Discord because I found that it's been 1.5 years.
Joining you.
Minus 2 weeks. But we'll get there too.
Need to hydrate.
Indeed. Tifa, do you want to get into it?
Into what?
Into Higurashi. Into what? Into bouldering. Into bodybuilding. Into making quilts. I don't know. What did you think this was gonna go to?
Making quilts could be interesting.
Okay, Tifa is not yet ready. Anyone else counting down days until Silksong releases? No, because I mean, yesn't. I am very happy that after people have waited for, I think now 6 years, it's finally coming out. I'm not counting the days because I haven't even played Hollow Knight yet. I hear good things.
What Silksong is?
The new Hollow Knight game.
Oh, okay.
You wanted to stream Hollow Knight at some point.
At some point, yeah, but I really hate the map.
What do you mean you hate the map? Have you played the game?
No, but I've seen the map system.
It's a Metroidvania, I believe. So.
Doesn't it have this giant ass map?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Tifa,
I've seen parts of it.
Tifa, have you ever looked outside or at Google Maps?
It's very different.
How?
I feel like there's structure there.
There's structure in the game too, probably more.
No. Blasphemy. I'm using when I look at the map, or when I've seen bits of the map when people played, it makes me not want to play the game. That's all I'm saying. Like, a map really throws me off. It's what I hated the most about Final Fantasy XIV. Back then, I could not get into it because the map is shite.
This is super niche stuff, but on one hand, I also want to shit on her for this. Like, imagine making the best game ever and then some weirdo comes, I don't like your map system.
It's such an important part of the gameplay though.
But on the other hand, if any part of a game takes you out of it so much with the way it is made, then I guess I can understand that.
I would still like to play it.
Just in the grand scheme of things, like there's so much that goes into a game, and then I don't like the map. It's like, okay.
Didn't vibe with the map and runbacks to the bosses, but otherwise understandable hype. But the map is mentioned first. It is an important part.
I would say Psycho put the map first because of you.
To be fair, I stopped playing the Jedi Survivor games because the map absolutely sucks. Exactly, the map is so important and you have to open that and look at it so often.
So people are now realizing what fell out of your mouth, Tifa. Wait, the Final Fantasy XIV map? Yes.
Yeah. Especially when we first started playing, I couldn't get into it. Then when we picked it up again a while ago, it took some getting used
Tifa,
to.
I don't think anybody is wondering about whether you like it or not and why. It's about what part of the map makes you not like it.
The entire map.
No.
The way you
use your words.
how to
Describe
go into
what
something or in a room or on a different level. It's
That last thing she said is the only thing I agree with. Final Fantasy XIV does not do elevation well. There are times where you need to reach a certain place and there is some hint towards whether it's above you or below you, but if you just look at the map, you cannot necessarily tell that there's multiple levels stacked on top of each other. So that's the one thing I understand. Other than that,
the rest I can deal with.
what annoyed me in the beginning was that it took forever to get places. Which at the same time makes sense because you are one dude or gal or whatever in a huge living world. If everything was short walks and small and convenient, it wouldn't feel like you're part of a bigger world.
I believe when we picked up the game again last year, we got mounts way faster.
Yeah, because we looked up how to get them.
I think that might have been changed in an update once, because it was definitely a longer...
It was the same way because it took us forever as well. And when we got them, we were very happy.
I'm uncertain.
Because with a mount you move faster. Still not super fast, but faster. Places are usually that far apart that it makes sense to use the teleport system. Again, I understand this. Why would you make a teleport system if teleporting isn't worth your time? You know, it makes sense.
Jedi Survivor has a huge world and the map makes me feel more lost. Tried to be helpful by being 3D, but it just became more confusing. I absolutely feel you there. I cannot deal with that. I need a handy map.
Yeah. The map for the DLC for Elden Ring shows you no verticality when the whole world is vertical by theme. Yeah, I figured. Elden Ring also doesn't do a great job necessarily in my experience. There's one part, if you just play casually for Elden Ring, there's one part of a map that you can see on the map that you have no idea how to get there. Because it's inaccessible unless you follow a certain quest or you luck into the way you need to go there or you can go there. It's completely optional, thankfully. But still, the fact that you see it because it's the topmost layer of a map but you have no means to get there, it's like, why do you hate me like this?
That's such a weird thing to get stuck on.
I know, right, Tifa? I thought we were in the map hatred part of the stream.
Yeah, but seeing a part of the map that you can access but you don't know how yet is something completely different.
No, that's the thing, I can see it but I can't access it. There's no way to get there. No visible way.
Yeah, but there is true, like a quest line.
Yeah, because the thing I hate more than the map in Elden Ring is the quest lines. Literally.
I'm just saying.
I've been on record multiple times shitting on From Software's quest design. It is an abomination. It is designed specifically on purpose. You can look this up. It is designed on purpose to make people online talk about it to each other so that the community gets together and brainstorms ideas and puts it all together. And I understand this and I see why people like it. I hate it. I hate it. I don't have a brain capacity to go, maybe that super cryptic hint from 5 hours of playtime earlier had to do with this one person at the ass end of nowhere behind this cliff who doesn't react to it but I guess now that I've talked to this person, I should go find the person I talked to first. Oh, they are not in the same space anymore. Where could they be? Oh, somewhere completely different, which I have no way of knowing unless I'm looking at a wiki. Why? Have you ever played through any of the quest lines in Elden Ring, Tifa?
Some, not all of them. I never finished the game.
You actually have played through a quest line?
Yeah.
Blind or by looking it up?
Oh, that I don't remember. It's been too long.
100% by looking it up.
Are you salty? Do I
Yes.
need to remind you that I solved the astronomy puzzle in Skyrim without a guide and just going through it? Where is the faith? There's no faith in me, I'm telling you.
Make it so that you deserve it. Tifa, we watch you play video games regularly here. You have done nothing to cement that. Tifa is talking about spoilers for Skyrim, a game that's almost 14 years old. Tifa is talking about Blackreach. Throughout the main quest line, at some point, you get to go into, I think it's technically the biggest dungeon in the world in Skyrim. It's like this underground area called Blackreach. And as you go through there, near the end, you have to do an astronomy puzzle. I guess you could call it. There's a bunch of buttons on a console in front of you. Which buttons are visible depends on which buttons you've pressed already, in what order. And in front of you is this planetarium telescope looking device that moves in different layers. I cannot see the solution. I know the solution now through muscle memory. I know what button to click in what order because I've played through the game like 20 times. I do not see how you go from the original state of the machine to pressing the buttons to how it then comes together. I don't see it. And the first time I played this, when it just came out 14 years ago, I was stuck there. I was like, I'm stuck. I hate this game now because I can't progress. And then Tifa came over and she looked at it and she was like, click, 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 done. And she has tried to explain to me how it works. I don't see it.
It just makes sense. Gotta be honest though, when I looked at it in my own playthrough, I forgot how to look at the thing again.
For all I know, the things just go left, right, left, right. I mean, they change angles a bit, but what? Thankfully, it's a relatively short thing and you can get it right by just clicking buttons, which is what I do, but I guess I hate maps too sometimes.
So the short answer to your question, are we looking forward to Silksong? Not necessarily, but I'm very happy it came out.
It's coming out in 2 days, no? 4th of September, I think?
Oh, I have no clue. Because I wasn't even aware of what it was. But I'm happy for the fans of the franchise.
Yes. On behalf of all of them, because I understand all the fans are Monolith, Malix, congratulations on Silksong releasing soon. One last map complaint. If you want to play a game with a confusing map that is 3-dimensional and supposed to be somewhat helpful, Metroid Prime.
But it's kind of the same map system as, what's it called? We just spoke about this.
Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight. I wanted to say Shovel Knight. But
no, it's not though, because Metroid Prime is 3-dimensional. Hollow Knight isn't. To my understanding. I've only seen bits and pieces of it. Because the Metroid games are supposed to make you feel isolated and alone and I guess confused at points, and then you have this huge world in 3D. I think I brute forced my way through the game. I don't recall how long it took me to actually finish it. I want to say 30 hours, which is way longer than most people, I think. Let me double check that. How long to beat Metroid Prime?
What are the numbers on how long to beat based on anyway? Do you just log in and say how long you took to beat it and then it takes an average?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly how that works. Metroid Prime main story 13.5 hours. Yeah, I think 30 for me is about accurate. You okay?
I'm okay.
Alright. Anyway, that's enough of a map hatred. You know what game doesn't have maps, thankfully? Higurashi.
Imagine.
Now, Tifa, I ask you once again. Are you ready to get into Higurashi?
I'm ready.
Cool, because before that, a time-honored tradition that Tifa is now going to complain about, and I will not let her. Hey Tifa, since this is the beginning of another chapter and also the last chapter, would you please recap the entire story so far for everybody?
What? The entire story?
We've done that for every single chapter, so yes, the entire story.
So, in the previous chapter, Rika was our main character.
She does this every time because she knows.
Rika was our main character, still trying to
do it
escape
properly
fate.
or don't do it at all.
I am doing it.
No, you're not.
It doesn't need a full recap. Rika, being our main character, still trying to escape her fate, lands in a world where everything is going.
I'm motioning under the table that if she doesn't stop right now, I'm gonna end the stream. Jack, you've been here from the beginning. I don't care. I don't care. We've done this for every single chapter. We're gonna do it for the last one as well. Even if you
can't change things, Psycho, once they've already been done.
No matter how much Tifa is trying to rage bait me. Fuck the Void Watchers. No, I love them too. And on behalf of myself, because Tifa is clearly of a different opinion here, I want to apologize to all of you, hoping you would get a recap right now, and then you had to listen to this, and despite my efforts to stop her, we're still not in the recap, so I'm sorry that she is wasting your time.
A short version is perfectly fine.
A recap starts at the beginning, not at the last chapter.
Fine, then you do it, but the short version.
Higurashi tells the story of Keiichi Maebara, who has recently moved from Tokyo to Hinamizawa, somewhere out in the boonies. There he makes fast friends with a couple of people from his school. There is Reina Ryugu, the orange-hair girl.
Yeah, this is a bit too much for a recap. Just get into the chapter.
Mion Sonozaki, the green-haired girl. There is the little one, Rika, with the blue hair. And there is Satoko, the little blonde girl. Later on through the chapters, we also learn that there are more characters we haven't been introduced to. No.
No, this is too much. Just do a recap of chapter 7.
Mion has a twin sister called Chion who plays a part in this. Eventually, in every single chapter, things go horribly wrong and people start getting murdered. And you don't really know why until you get to chapter 7, which appears to establish that, regardless of what you thought might have been happening so far, there's a disease that is spread around Hinamizawa called Hinamizawa syndrome. Everybody that lives here has it, and if they get suspicious of one another, or if they leave this place for a duration of time, they might be affected by it. Long story short, it causes them to go crazy, kill other people, and kill themselves. Chapter 7 ends with, I guess you could call it a reveal, that Takano, the nurse from the local clinic, is in fact the mastermind behind all of this, killing the entire main cast. Thankfully, Rika has the magical ability to rewind time upon her death. And everybody dies at the end of chapter 7. So hopefully chapter 8 will start us off with a fresh life for Rika and everybody else, so that we can try to unfuck this situation. Imagine, a short recap, and I would have done it in half the time if you hadn't done what you did.
You also recapped chapter 1, that was unnecessary, then you could have put more important details into the actual recap of chapter 7. About how it was the perfect world, how everything was going well because they learned from the mistakes in the previous
important
chapters.
Facts like Satoko being mildly colorblind and unable to tell broccoli from cauliflower. Or how Reina always goes shopping when there's sales and she likes cute things.
GG. So are you ready for chapter 8?
I'm gonna take another sip of tea to de-salt myself from Tifa trying to ruin my fun.
I would already press the button, but there's nothing on... Nothing to show yet.
Sabotaging Tifa on purpose. Ranger Salva deemed Tifa sit like a human. Thank you. Thank you, Ranger.
Sit straight. Thank you.
I'm glad somebody is on my side. Tap off some laundry and get some lunch for myself and eat life. Please enjoy. Thank you for the work.
Lunch. Do you also do my laundry?
And my lunch? That'd be nice.
Preferably lunch.
Imagine suddenly a ranger comes in, has done our laundry, has made lunch for us.
Ranger eats.
What?
Instead of Uber Eats.
I think Ranger Eats is what he is going to do now, and I...
Uber Ranger?
No. Fuck Uber. I'd rather it be delivery cell. Because Ranger Eats could also just be streams of Ranger eating food.
Fair enough. I'll do it for 4 citizenships, please. I will send you a test to practice for the Dutch one. I'm sure we can work something out after that.
Would be nice. Tifa, are you ready to start?
I am ready to start. Did you already? Oh, yeah. Who do you think is gonna be the main character now?
I don't know. We're gonna find out in a moment.
Probably Rika again, makes sense.
Matsuribayashi. At least let it end with a blissful dream. Festival accompanying chapter. The riddle you have been entrusted with solving now finally becomes unraveled. What must be done to stop the chain? And what will happen in the ultimate end? It's a showdown between the conclusion you reached and the one I reached. There is no difficulty. You should understand that now. You ready to start?
I am ready.
That creepy kid's laugh.
I still wonder what the laughs is supposed to mean.
Get ready to speed read.
Everyone is entitled to happiness. The difficult part is accepting that. Everyone is entitled to happiness. The difficult part is fulfilling that. I too am entitled to happiness. The difficult part is working out a compromise.
By Frederica Bernkastel.
This is a work of fiction and any resemblance to actual persons or organization is entirely coincidental.
This is strange because we have seen that poem, we've heard that poem before, and it was kind of implied that Rika was the one. Wait. Frederica Bernkastel? Is that like a pen name?
Well, it could be, I guess. I thought it was an actual...
I mean, Rika, Frederica... I mean, 1 letter difference in the Rika spelling, but...
Well, it could be. It's possible.
I guess I'll start?
I think that makes sense.
The study was filled with piles of books and papers. In that study there was a full-figured old man writing something at his desk in utmost concentration. There was also a little girl sorting out papers on the carpet. She almost looked as though she was playing with him.
Rika's dad?
But the serious expression she was wearing made it clear that she wasn't.
Grandpa, I'm done sorting them out. Oh,
okay.
It's little Takano.
No, that's Takano's mom.
She said grandpa. Which means
it's
Takano, and that's her grandfather who was mentioned in chapter 7.
I was confused because wasn't her name shorter? It's Mio Takano, which is short for Miyoko. That's why I was like, no, Takano's first name is 4 letters, this is 6. Do you think he's a nice guy or a huge piece of shit?
Probably nice.
Thank you. Let's see. What happened?
Look, there are lots of people with the same symptoms. It's way higher than the national average.
Can you add a little bit of flavor of derangedness to the kid's voice?
Try.
That's exactly what I expected. There's an intriguing treatise over here too. It discusses psychosurgery and civilization. It also predicts the existence of parasites that inhabit the frontal lobe.
The frontal lobe is what causes emotions.
That's right. Emotions aren't created by the heart.
They're just side effects of a chemical secreted by the organ known as the brain. If parasites capable of acting on that organ did exist and spread to create a colony, then that colony's thoughts would be unified.
This is why I'm not smart. I never had these conversations with my parents or grandparents.
Also, no way Hifumi is a nice guy. That's not how a nice guy talks. Emotions aren't created by the heart. They're just side effects. This is old grumpy ass.
So, are parasites the cause of the spread of ideology? When ideologies clash, is that because different parasites are competing to expand their habitat?
That, or to expand religion, to expand national borders, or to expand a race.
Actually, it's sodium chloride. Yeah.
It's hypothesized that our differing cultural communities and their conflict are the results of parasites influencing human thought.
I already hate him.
There are people in other countries who think the same thing as you, Grandpa.
Of course there are. There are countless parasites on this earth, and it's well known that some coexist with their hosts and some control their hosts. We've also discovered plenty of parasites that infect humans. Yet despite that, we adamantly deny the possibility that parasites could infect humans and control their hosts. Even the hypothesis of such a thing.
Yeah, how are you doing? Now that we are officially in Chapter 8, I can say it! Save Takano.
No.
Uh,
No.
I'm not sure if Takano deserves redemption at this point.
I have a strong feeling this chapter is gonna make us feel slightly bad for Takano and how she's a product of how she was raised and the circumstances.
100%.
But I don't care. It makes me understand why you turned out the way you did, but in the end, after a certain point in your life, you are responsible for your own actions. Do I understand why you're going this way through life? Yes, but they're still your actions. Every single time you get up, every single time you do anything, it's you choosing to continue this path. Not you, Yaya, but Takano, because #fuck Takano.
If she seems to be redeemable before anything bad happens, then okay. I'm willing to go the save Takano route. Other than that, nope.
I'm guessing she grows up with this old asshole like, oh no, it's all parasites. Everything is parasites, 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 parasites. So she goes, parasites. And then, how old is she by the end of chapter 7? In her 20s, early 30s maybe? I cannot tell from the artwork. Let's say late 20s. That still gave her plenty of time to, challenge her belief system and figure things out for herself. Also, welcome in Dark Lord. How are you doing? Unless, no.
Hi Dark Lord, how are you doing?
Takano's in her 30s. Giving her plenty of time to learn, or to ponder, even just treating people like people. You have parasites in your brain, that's why you are the way you are.
Why do you think that is? Humans aren't special in any way.
Because that hypothesis would also mean changing our view to see the spread of ideologies from perspective of epidemiology. If conflicts in ideology can be resolved through debate, then they're peaceful. But if those conflicts occur epidemically, they become frightening.
And if one were to treat bad thoughts or the spread of culture as an epidemic?
I just realized why I, on an almost instinctive level, get already so frustrated with this situation. This feels so topical.
The topic is parasites.
There is a part of the world that believes, I think at least the phrasing started in the US a couple years ago, unfortunately, the woke mind virus. I present to you the father of a theory. Higurashi predicted Trump's presidential race.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Think about the Black Plague in Europe during the Middle Ages. Vile infectious disease spread. They forced infected people into hospitals and didn't release them until they completely recovered. And some even died in those hospitals.
Some.
They burned their corpses. They confiscated and burned everything those patients touched for fear of a plague infected it. They even suspected families of infection and forced them into hospitals.
So they'd hospitalize healthy people over individual ideas.
Replace an idea with a disease. The rest is the same. Patients won't be released until they completely recover. People burn everything that may have been touched by the patient, and they force the patient's family to go to the hospital.
People are free to think what they will, right? Thoughts aren't pests.
If an idea was created by parasites, it would exactly be the same as a plague. In other words, an idea is like an incurable epidemic.
So you mean anyone with a different idea is treated like they have a disease?
That's right. If we bring this to its logical conclusion, parasites could be responsible for mass murders of people belonging to different races or religions.
Yeah.
But this can be seen as justifying genocide. Therefore, talking about parasites and brains has been taboo since the war.
It's how you have to recap it to read us?
It's almost like your theory is crazy. Maybe that's why you've been told the shit you're talking about you shouldn't talk about. But you misunderstood the assignment. It was people trying to tell you that's not really how it works. That's kind of wrong.
I gotta say, I love this part. What does taboo mean? We're having a conversation that even me in my 30s can barely follow. And this, 8-year-old kid is just having it. And then it's like, but what is it taboo? But we're talking about parasites, ideology, politics, viruses.
Well, what Hifumi is telling little impressionable Takano is that you are not actually your own person. Everything you do or don't do is because the parasite in your brain makes you part of a larger hive mind. And the parasite you are infected with just decides who you are and what you do.
I do get the direction we're going to, but the fact that this 8-year-old girl, we have no clue how old she is, I'm just assuming, is just going along with that is what I find funny. And then it's like, but what is it taboo?
I'm glad I didn't grow up around people like Hifumi.
It means something people shouldn't get involved with. That's why nobody researches these things. Nobody even remembers anything about parasites that live in the brain. They assume that parasites which control humans simply don't exist.
That's almost funny. How can they prove something doesn't exist? That's just impossible.
Exactly. Proving that the devil exists is easy. You just have to show him to someone, but you can't prove he doesn't exist. You can't show somebody something that doesn't exist.
It's almost as if the parasites in the brain are controlling people so that they can keep their own existence a secret. Me and my grandfather shared a happy laugh together.
Humans are simply another animal in this natural world. We might be at the top of a food chain, but it's foolish to think that we are superior to others. Humans can be controlled by parasites. Just because the existence of such parasites hasn't been proven doesn't mean they don't exist.
How did they get to this again?
They exist.
Oh, sorry.
I know they do.
Wow, they even predicted the German, Deutsche Bahn meme. There was
German railway memes? What?
Yeah, there was this video where they were skipped on a track. And then you hear the announcer...
Who is skipped on it? What do you mean skipped?
The train is skipped on a platform. They didn't get priority to go into a station. And then you hear the announcer going like, yeah, we're not allowed to do this because according to the railroad
the holy
people,
rules.
Whatever you call the people directing the trains, again in English, they say we don't exist. And then she goes like, but we do exist.
Oh,
I know we do. Because we are here.
I've seen that video on TikTok too.
We exist. Basically that.
Oh, I hate Hifumi and his whole fucking family.
A devil's proof. That could be the title of a tip.
It's also a great name for alcohol.
Dark Lord, thank you for the 35 stream streak. Love.
That's our wacky Hifumi. No, put a bullet between his eyes.
At the moment, that still seems a little bit much.
Sorry.
He's just the start of a cultist.
Given the current situation, he has done nothing to deserve such a fate. However, knowing what it leads to, Hifumi right now is my baby Hitler. You have a philosophical question? If you had a time machine, would you go back in time and kill baby Hitler? I always hated this. The devil's greatest trick is convincing the world that he doesn't exist. I never quite understood the meaning of that.
Also, would I shoot baby Hitler? Probably not. Would I convince him that art sucks? And he should become an electrician or something?
No, Tifa. Here's how I dodge the question of whether it's ever ethical to kill an innocent baby, because the baby ain't done nothing. I would go back in time and I would monitor his progress. And I would at first try to get him admitted into the art university he wanted to attend. I would just bribe him. I mean, have you looked at his drawings, his paintings, his postcards? I've seen worse. And hey, if we can avoid World War II and all that came out of it by making this guy do mediocre paintings.
Yeah, but rejection was the trigger. So you don't want to work in a field where...
I'm not sure about that.
Well, let's say rejection was the trigger.
Okay, then I'll get him admitted into the university.
Yeah, but the art industry is a industry where rejection is very common. So why would you then put him on a path where that trigger will happen so often in his life?
Maybe it won't, because I keep making things happen so that he will become one of the world's greatest artists, always trying to avoid World War II.
That seems like too much effort. I like my electrician road. There isn't that much rejection on that path. It's a well-wanted profession, lots of work to be found there.
They didn't really have electricians back in 1912.
Well, they had to start somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think he really knew about that yet. Not on the same scale as nowadays.
Fair enough.
To be fair, he is viewing this from a purely scientific lens. If he should is a different question. I understand that, but I have a bad feeling that he doesn't view it from a purely scientific perspective.
And we're kind of influencing this little girl here.
Plus, I would hope he might be aware what impact this has on little Miyoko.
That's happened before in the scientific world, right?
That's right. Not all scientists are recognized for their work while they're alive. There were many who were ridiculed and couldn't prove their theories to be true.
But, Grandpa, I hope your theory will be recognized before you die. Otherwise...
I'll make it happen.
It would be so sad.
Don't worry. God doesn't ignore people who work hard. Hard work always pays off in the end.
But when will that happen?
Nobody knows when God is going to descend from heaven. Just like you never know when you'll be robbed.
This is why she wants to become a god.
So we always have to be alert and ready, so that we don't miss our chance.
Yeah, words that stuck with her.
I mean, if there are brain parasites, we should know. It's not unlikely. Yeah. I mean, it would explain a lot of things going on in my head.
Case in point, toxoplasmosis found in cats. I fully agree with you. The thing is, I would imagine at some point science gets to a point where we would know that we have parasites in our bodies. We would know. Even if a government is trying to keep it quiet, somebody would learn and somebody would leak it. We would know at some point.
At the latest, when Elon Musk is gonna put chips in our brain.
Oh my god. You cannot pay me any amount of money that I would let that guy put anything anywhere near my body.
Yeah, but someone will.
I mean, yeah, he also has 500 children. I don't know why people do that to themselves. I'm just saying I won't be one of them. The gods help those who help themselves. Or like Takano did to the parasite.
Well, if they don't help, you just gotta ascend yourself.
Yeah, just become God.
That was something... Wait, can someone tell me if this is still the narrator? Is that still from the perspective of young Takano or older Takano?
But nobody knows unless Ryukishi is watching, in which case, hi, also, why so cryptic? Just go with what you feel.
That was something that my grandfather said all the time. Nobody knows when efforts will bear fruit, but it will happen one day. That's why you must always work hard, so you have no regret when the time comes. Your efforts will bear fruit someday. That's what he meant. But is it going to happen before you die? Even though there were so many scientists whose work weren't recognized while they were alive. That was such a cruel thing to say. But I didn't mean to be cruel. I had seen how hard my grandfather had been working, and I also knew he wouldn't live forever. I just wanted his work to gain recognition before he died. I'm assuming it's older Takano.
Wait. Is Takano's plan... Wait.
To resurrect Grandpa.
Do you think there is any chance in hell that Takano knows or suspects the time rewinding ability that Rika/Hanyu has?
I think no, because remember when Rika was about to die and she kept going on that she will burn this into her soul so when they meet next she knows what she has done, and she was like, I don't know what you're up to or what you're talking about.
Because I was thinking, and I think I would love this. Imagine if at the end of this conversation we learned that Takano suspected that Rika somehow can turn back time. So she made it her life goal, after watching her grandfather's theories failing and him being ostracized by the community and all that, she made it her goal to prove him right. So she did all of this so that she would get the parasite, so that she then ends up killing herself, causing Hanyu to rewind time for her. And now Takano is back as a little kid, and she tries to spend her next life trying to help her grandfather attain godhood.
If you can shorten that, I feel like that's a worthy theory to write down for you. But I feel like the hints they could have dropped for that,
Fuck
they
it,
didn't take.
I'm gonna write this down.
Yeah, that's fine. I even suggested you write it down. Wait, can you here start with chapter 3 so that we know?
It's chapter 8, by the way.
Chapter 8.
Welcome to chapter 3. Remember how she laughed at me and bitched and moaned and complained when I did the recap for all the previous chapters? This is why I do it, people. And for the VOD watchers. Love you all. Takano became the queen carrier to rewind her own time to make her grandfather great again. Choosing those words very deliberately.
GG.
Do you know of the resurrection of Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
He was crucified and resurrected after 3 days.
Easter.
You told me about it.
How do you think Jesus was resurrected?
Didn't he just get up as if he was waking up in the morning?
He was buried after his execution, so his body was in the ground.
Did he break open the tombstone and crawl out like a zombie?
No. That wouldn't be called a resurrection. The sinners who killed Jesus imagined exactly the same thing.
I didn't expect Jesus to be part of Higurashi.
Basically, he had the parasite, the ability to rewind time, died, got resurrected.
Jesus is Oyashiro-sama!
Restarted his life.
Hanyu is Jesus! Where are we going with this? Just a bad hangover. The mother of all hangovers.
Jesus predicted just before he was executed that he would come back to life after 3 days. The sinners buried Jesus, sealed his tomb, and posted guards to watch over it. But what Jesus meant wasn't that he would resurrect physically. He meant his teachings would be resurrected. After 3 days, Jesus' teachings were resurrected and people regained their belief. The hearts of those who wanted to be shown the proper way revived his teachings. And that's what the resurrection of Jesus is all about. He came back to life in the hearts of his believers. Jesus doesn't exist physically on this earth, but he exists in people's hearts. In other words, that's when Jesus became an existence superior to humans.
Hence the whole God complex.
Even if, after the author's death, as long as his work receives a fair valuation, it will live again as a great achievement.
Oh, I forgot a word and I completely killed the meaning of the line.
Even if it's after the author's death, as long as his work receives a fair valuation, it will live again as a great achievement. Even if my body is gone by then, my life will return and receive recognition.
Does that mean you'll become a god, just like Jesus did?
Indeed! My research will be recognized for what it is someday. That's when I will become a god. That's why I'm not in a rush to achieve that recognition. I don't know when that day will come. God doesn't know that either. But the day will come. That's why I need to continue to work as hard as I can.
It was very sad to hear my grandfather say that his life would end one day. He wasn't ill, and he didn't only have a few years left to live. But set next to the average lifespan, his remaining years didn't look like much. The only person left in my life was my grandfather. So I didn't even want to consider what it would be like with him gone. Grandfather must have remembered that I didn't like to talk about that subject. With a tender smile, he gently patted my head.
Of course, I want my research to be recognized before I die. I will do my best.
Yep, I'll do my best to help you too.
And that includes killing children! Yay!
I purposefully didn't mention the before you die part. I caught myself before I said it.
Thank you. That makes me very happy to hear.
Grandfather smiled in satisfaction. His research wasn't exactly outrageous. He wasn't trying to uncover the mysteries of the universe.
I would say overthrowing the entire social order by trying to prove that conscious thought and individuality doesn't exist because you are a location-based hive mind proxy is kind of a big deal. No?
He was only researching for the possibility that parasites could be responsible for human behavior. Nothing more than that. See, it's not a big deal. Nothing outrageous.
No, nothing outrageous.
It really wasn't a wild idea. We even had some leads.
So what about things like rabies?
Like rabies.
Yes, rabies will change your behavior. Rabies is the disease, rabies, you can get by being bitten by a wild animal, is one of the planet's most fucked up ways to die. Because you will contract rabies and at first you won't know. But then you will start to feel like shit. And you will feel bad. You will get a really high fever. And you will probably go to a doctor. At any of that point already, you are already dead. You just don't know that is going to happen yet. As rabies develops, your cognitive abilities are slowly going away and you will get thirstier and thirstier. But at the same time, at first, you will struggle drinking because it's almost painful to you. Closer to the end, as it progresses, you will feel water. If you want to have a bad time, watch rabies videos of patients on YouTube. People throwing cups of water away, holding them, trying to drink because their body at the same time saying, I need you to drink, I am dehydrating, I need to drink. And they cannot, their whole body just, you can't.
Yeah, but the answer is simple.
Just don't get rabies.
That it also affects the parasite.
Rabies isn't a parasite, it's a virus. So
yeah, I'm saying rabies. affects the parasite as well,
fuck
causing
off.
that behavior. Because you're like, but what about rabies?
my
As if you
God.
can't have rabies if you have a parasite. The parasite also gets thrown off.
Yes, what in Hifumi's words, as Tifa is, I guess, trying to translate for me, the reason why when you have rabies this is happening is because the parasite and the rabies virus in your brain are fighting each other. They're having good old fisticuffs.
It's like when you get a cold, your immune system is fighting the virus. It's the exact same thing, but parasite.
It's a parasite running around your body trying to tell every organ what to do, but Vaughn's like, sorry boss, I'm busy.
So there are very logical expressions as well that prove the existence, like brain fart. Where would brain fart come from if not the parasite farting in your head?
Tifa, are you saying that when people use the expression I had a brain fart, you think they mean that literally, as in something inside of their brain passed gas and that caused a disruption?
Not something, a parasite. See, all of this proof and you're still not a believer. It's the Chichulu brainworm farting, exactly.
It's the what brainworm?
Chichulu.
Chuchulu. Cthulhu.
Oh, Cthulhu.
Or Cthulhu. But
I knew there was something wrong when I said Chichulu.
Chuchulu is Cthulhu, but in a train. With a little cap and like he's looking outside the train like Chuchulu.
Well, my parasite has a problem with pronouncing things.
Clearly.
It's not my fault I got the dyslexic one.
Dyslexic.
That's what I just said!
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I'm proving my point.
Chuchulu, the pre-evolution of Cthulhu. Yes. Or it's the second evolution. Cthulhu, you catch Cthulhu near the water because it's this octopus thing, right? And then you can only evolve it into Chuchulu if it levels up past level 36 while moving on a train.
Sounds about right.
Movement-based evolutions. Nintendo, hire this man. Okay, Hifumi, Takano, go.
It really wasn't a wild idea. We even had some leads. Who do you think this is?
That's still you, that's the lead.
Chichulu, you haven't even seen my final form. Hinamizawa village, Shishibone city, prefecture. The villagers there are possessed by a powerful homesickness. Somehow I thought we did a swap. When they are unable to return, they allegedly behave abnormally, as if they are cursed. There are also some bizarre rules in place in the village based on their belief system. When he was working with the military during the war, my grandfather noticed similarities between the people in Hinamizawa and assumed that some kind of existence was responsible for their odd behavior. They just cray-cray. He'd been researching it ever since.
All the people from this one village are kind of like they have something in common. Yes, it's called culture, probably.
It's tradition in this village to drop the baby on its head when it's born.
That's fucked up, Tifa.
I'm just saying. It explains a lot, doesn't it?
Oh my god, it is so messed up.
In the middle of the 20th century, numerous strange diseases were discovered all over Japan. Most of them were caused by infectious parasites, and people started to pay attention to this forgotten field of study. Grandfather's research was simply one of those investigations into such diseases. Therefore, he believed it would be published amongst other research and attain recognition soon.
No, because you are a crazy old racist man. I don't know about the racist part, I'm just adding that because it would add to the picture for me.
Hinamizawist?
No, plain racist.
But if his research didn't bear fruit before his death, I wanted to continue it.
There we go.
I wanted to continue his research. Grandfather taught me. Resurrection isn't something that happens physically. It's when your life's work is appreciated. That's what he meant by resurrection. That's when he'll become a god. So when my grandfather dies, he'll still be with me forever. I wouldn't have to be alone ever again. I will always be with my grandpa. Our works will gain recognition, and we will both become gods, gaining eternal peace. I will make my grandfather into a god. I will become a god. Therefore, we will be granted eternity. We'll be together forever and ever.
That is almost sweet. Almost.
That is kind of adorable.
This would be really touching if her ways to achieve that didn't mean all the shit she does later on in life. To go, hey, I'm really just trying to further my grandfather's research because I want him to gain immortality and recognition like this. Yes, that's honorable, that's really sweet, that's awesome. The whole, I kill people, I shoot kids in the head. No. You or me?
I think still Takano.
Okay.
I was looking at the key on a keychain. The key was labeled hen house. But the lock Eriko was trying to open didn't belong to that door. It should have opened effortlessly. At least that's what was supposed to happen. But it didn't open. I noticed beads of sweat forming on Eriko's forehead. She was the one who came up with this idea. Eriko was starting to panic. The rest of us started to panic too. This only opens the hen house. Let's stop, let's go back.
Shush!
We were supposed to be cleaning out the hen house. If they found us back here, if they found out why we were here and why we were trying to open up the lock to the back door, then all four of us were sure to be sentenced to splayed piggy. Don't panic, Eriko. That key opens this lock, right? You already tried it, right?
Will you shut up for a minute? This is the right key. It's just hard to open, that's all.
She was almost shrieking.
Oh, it's pretty close.
Our hearts were pounding loudly. It was as though the sound of our heartbeats was echoing throughout the hallway.
Also, what do you mean all four of us?
Well, there's more people there. And at that point, we heard footsteps that didn't belong to a child. Oh wait, are they children at this point? Yes. Shh.
Is the hen house a fucked up euphemism for children being in there?
I think they are children. Somebody's coming. The three of us held our breath, but Eriko didn't hear it. She kept fussing with the lock and the key, as if everything would be okay if she could just open the lock. Eriko, somebody's coming, be quiet.
I know this is the right key. I'm not dreaming, I already tried it and opened it. Come on, why isn't this working? When this lock opens, when this lock is open, we can be happy and we can say goodbye to this hell.
There we go. Someone's coming.
So she got pyramid-headed.
The question is what that was all about.
Okay, so Mio Takano spent her impressionable formative years with her grandfather and his insane ramblings because her parents were already dead. Then after his death she got moved into some sort of facility, I assume run by Tokyo.
Probably by the military that he was a part of.
Tokyo specifically. Yeah. And they turned her into this even more cruel, hateful, spiteful piece of shit Takano that we learn about later.
I'm not sure if they turned her into that or if
They
this was
hardened her.
all because of her achieving her goal.
Hifumi plastered the way. Takano was walking it, and then Tokyo came and put rails on the side so that she would definitely turn out like this.
That could be.
And that's gonna be Rika.
My father and mother died. I don't know exactly how old they were. I was too young to remember. They went shopping without me, and that must be why they were punished. No, it was a train accident.
Okay, then that's Takano?
Erika? That Takano makes more sense. I'm just gonna read it normally until we know who is what. What a terrible disaster. A A lot of people died in that incident. But maybe my father was one of the lucky ones. He was still alive when he arrived at the hospital, so he was able to share his final words with me.
That's Takano. Because Rika's parents don't die like this. We know
Yeah.
how they die.
My mother died instantly. Daddy! 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 I didn't want to admit that this person I could hardly recognize was my father. As I called out to him, I hoped that it was someone else instead. But unfortunately, it was my father. Maybe I shouldn't have woken him. Because when I woke him up, he was reminded of the miserable agony that he had forgotten. Daddy! 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 He tried to move his right arm, so he could pat my head. But his arm was wrapped in bandages and his hand was no longer there. I couldn't find his hand anywhere on the bed. I hate it when I lose my hand.
That's why it's important to lend him a hand.
I only had scary memories of his right hand. Its main job was to slap me when I did something bad. But I never wished it to be gone.
Adding more fuel to the fire of Takano will literally do anything to get her grandfather to be recognized, because her parents were also pieces of shit. You know,
Well,
so really...
slapping was relatively common.
Yeah, but it adds to it. I imagine her grandfather didn't hit her.
Besides, that hand also patted my head, even though that only happened a few times. It was a big warm hand and it stroked my head very gently. But no matter what good deeds I did, he could no longer rub my head. No, his hand was the least of his worries. He had to go into emergency surgery. The doctors already warned me that the chance of him surviving was very low. That was why I was allowed to see him, regardless of his condition. Not only could he no longer rub my head, he might be gone forever. Daddy, the surgery will make you better, right? Daddy, you'll get better, right? Right?
Listen carefully. Your daddy might not make it. Even if I die, you have to be strong, okay?
No, you'll get better. The doctor is going to make you better. So you're not going to die. He was a stubborn and old-fashioned father. He believed endurance was a virtue, and he never complained about anything. That was why I couldn't believe he actually said he might not make it. I tried desperately to deny his words, but even that wish wouldn't prolong his life. My father, knowing his time was limited, tried to tell me some important things.
Never buy a game for more than $20. Do not pre-order video games.
Only buy when it's 80% off, at least.
Wait for the Steam sale to happen.
And junk and thief. Thief? Thief?
Moth me.
Thief. Drunk and thief. Welcome
you
and
doing?
Mame. How you doing? Thank you, I needed that.
But I interrupted his efforts by crying like a baby. I just wanted him to slap me with his stomp. We are so bad. There's a special layer in hell for us.
I don't know anything about her father. I feel really sad for her. But because I have a mind that works in mysterious ways, you've seen those videos with me. I think we've seen it on TikTok. There was a video of a cat, and the cat had to have surgery that removed one of its front legs.
Yes, and it's the leg he used to slap with, so you see him like...
After it's all healed, the cat is doing well. It adapted to having only 2 hind and 1 front leg. But then the cat goes up to another cat and gets into position, and you can see it go... Like it's trying to cat slap the other cat, but because it doesn't have an arm, all you can see is the...
That broke my heart.
And
he was so into it too.
You can see the cat be like confused, like, why are you not reacting to me slapping you? And it's like, And that is sad, but in a way also adorable. And I had to think of it.
Kinda.
Besides the whole fact that something really tragic is happening here, either way, because I just wanted him to slap me. Like Tifa probably just slapped her microphone by her earpiece falling off.
No, I was next to this. Yakun tofu. Oh, and.
You know what? I'll take it back. He is a piece of shit. I just wanted him to slap me again, like he used to every time I cried like a baby.
In that case,
fuck him.
Just like he used to do every time I cried like a baby. But he would never slap me again.
Listen well. Your mother and I both lost all of our family in the war. So, after I'm dead, there won't be anyone left to take care of you.
He didn't need to tell me that. Oh, so this is after her grandfather already died, I guess.
I doubt that.
My parents used to tell me all the time, so I was aware of the fact.
Also a great thing to tell a kid. Remember, your family is dead.
Why? It's facts.
They keep reminding her.
Well, it depends on what he's still going to say after. So far, that's a legit
Saturday
start.
morning, the family sits at the table for breakfast.
If he's...
Thank you for the food. Your family is dead, girl. They are dead. Just reminding you because it's
This is
Saturday
not
morning.
the same at all, depending on what he's going to say after. And if it's like, oh, this is what you should do, or this is where you should go, it makes perfect sense.
Hell no, the Takano family is fucked up.
Nah. In other words, my father was the only relative I had left in this entire world.
1 sec.
No.
Okay. Now I moved weird and cramped my cable, so I was worrying that something happened.
If I die, you can count on Dr. Takano. Dr. Hifumi Takano. Can you say it?
See? Now it makes sense, doesn't it? It's exactly as I said. You have no more living relatives, but this is the person to go to. Hifumi Takano.
That's right, Dr. Hifumi Takano. He is my former teacher. He will help you.
Daddy! 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 Many doctors came into the room in a hurry. He wanted to tell me something else, but the doctor stopped him from talking, so I wasn't able to hear him. I was kicked out of the room. I didn't know what to do. Nobody told me how my father was doing, or when the surgery was going to start.
Does this doctor perhaps like writing fanfics? Yes, he does. You missed all of that in the beginning. Yeah, he does. You're not a individual person, Mami. You are a product of a parasite controlling your body. You are part of a hive mind.
Hey,
deal with it.
Every research and every thesis is fanfic until proven
Wait, actually,
accurate.
he calls it a scientific thesis, but yes.
That's exactly the same.
Potato,
Until
potato.
proven, it's all fanfics.
Okay, so what's gonna be the big twist? What's Takano's family name?
Not Takano. Berncastle. I don't know. Do you think it matters what our actual family name was?
Yes, that's gonna be a big thing. Maebara.
Nah. It wouldn't have anything to do with Hinamizawa, because then we would have known already, because she mentioned in the beginning that they found out about Hinamizawa because her grandfather... Or
Who
because...
isn't actually her grandfather.
Because Takano
adoptive
thought
grandfather. sorry.
these people from this village were acting weird, so they just came across it.
Yeah,
If
true.
Takano actually came from there, then he would have known because he knew her father. Go.
That's you.
I've already said it. Nobody told me. That was going to be the last conversation I ever had with my father. I think I asked people at the government office about Dr. Takano. They had asked me if I knew his phone number. I said I didn't. Then they didn't ask me anything further. Sometimes they told me that they'd look into it, but nothing led to anything. They couldn't find me a guardian, so I ended going up to an orphanage.
And that's where we had the scene with Eriko a moment ago.
At the time, there were plenty of orphans from the war, so although there were many orphanages around, they were all full. There were also some orphanages run by civilians. I was sent to one of those civilian orphanages. There was no profit to be had in taking in an orphan in the first place. So I thought those civilians who were running orphanages must have been very good people.
Oh no.
I was sure they hoped that the children would grow in this loving environment and enter into society with a sense of gratitude. But reality isn't so kind.
Unfortunately, yes.
How many children in this world can actually express their gratitude towards their parents in the first place? Children are supposed to be nurtured by their parents' love. Therefore, when that environment is destroyed, their hearts are wounded. Every child has his or her own personality.
Nope, sorry Takano, sorry Miyoko, that's just part of your parenthood. Also at this point, Mame has had exactly 420 Alolan Vulpix eggs hatched.
Oof.
How many do you need on average for 2 shinies? Like 16,000, right?
I'm guessing 1 in 800.
Isn't it 1 in 8,192?
What, for real?
I think so.
Oof.
Unless there's some sort of trick to getting it done.
Yeah, that's very painful.
1 in 512.
Oh, see?
So you are bound to get one, and then you will get double lucky, you'll get 2 back to back. Watch it happen.
Fingers crossed
Calling
for
it
you.
now. I predict, I will write this down in a prediction for Higurashi, that by the end of the stream, Mame will have a shiny Alolan Vulpix.
Did you already get one, by the way? Or are you still on your 2 run? Or I don't have the patience to hatch so many eggs. Also, I don't know why, but the music is giving me Xenoblade Chronicles 3, where you enter this room with this giant painting on the wall. I forgot what the area is called. There you also have like this angelic...
Yes, and any more details will be spoilers, and I will end you.
Okay, yeah, fair. But you know what I mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This also sounds like the church music in every JRPG ever when you go into the holy building, where you will meet the totally not evil Pope.
It's very church-like.
I'm not saying the music is bad, I'm saying it evokes that feeling.
A feeling of awe.
Yeah.
I remember when I was on my work trip to the UK, we also visited a church on the inside, and it was absolutely...
We visited a church on the inside. We went into a church.
We went into church. We quite often go to a church and only look at the outside and don't go in.
Yeah.
That's where my thoughts were coming from. But we went inside and the interior was absolutely beautiful. And before we left...
Gesture inside the camera for Antifa, it's gonna be better.
And before we left, the choir had started singing and doing the whole humming thing. And then you just stood there in this empty church where you couldn't see the choir either. They were somewhere on top behind this, what do you call those pipes? The organ. Behind the organ. And I'm guessing practicing. And then you're like...
Yeah,
I can understand where religion can come from. Because you have this feeling of awe and you look at everything and you feel it and it's like... Damn. Not in church, but...
Yeah. Tifa's reaction to having a moment of faith is to go blasphemy! No shiny yet. Did get a shiny Masterpiece Poltergeist on the side. Congratulations.
Poltergeist?
I have no idea what that looks like, but I'm happy for you.
I have no clue which one it is either. Receiving affection doesn't guarantee that the child will become someone angelic. Not everyone's heart can be healed. Also, orphanages back in the day were, I think, notoriously horrible.
Orphanages to this day can be hit or miss. Same with foster families.
Yeah, that is true.
I want to say for every story of somebody going, I had a good life in an orphanage or at a foster family, there is also at least one story where it's absolute nightmare material. that I wouldn't wish on anybody.
Yeah. It's kind of funny if you think about it. It is so hard to actually adopt a child or to become a foster family.
Not hard enough.
But still there are so many foster families or horror stories about foster families. Let me repeat that, where it's just about cashing in the money and then abandoning the kid. Like, how did they even get to that point? You have to go through such a hard process.
When I say the process isn't hard enough, I don't mean that it needs to be more needlessly difficult. I wish that everybody who wants to adopt a child can just do that. But you can game the process. You can lie.
Yeah, I guess if you know what they're looking for, you just make sure that's all correct. You give the right answers.
Exactly. Like, they will ask you questions. You need to give them the right answers. They will check for certain things. You will need to make sure that they see and find these certain things that they're looking for. Beyond that, they're not there 24/7.
If I ever feel the need to have children, I might consider fostering. Because adoption probably won't even really be an option.
Isn't that basically the same thing? Fostering is just for limited time, right?
Yeah. Once there is someone to adopt them, you pass them on.
Yeah. You could also foster to adopt.
Even though but that's also a really hard process.
Good, as it should be.
But usually if you start fostering an older kid, you have them until they're considered an adult. Not everyone, most people who adopt want like a baby or a very young child.
Yeah.
You know, one that is more
moldable,
influenceable.
This person can become my child versus an amalgamation of all the people that have tried and maybe failed to parent this kid before me. That seems like a very matter-of-fact way of saying it, but you know what I mean, right? On to happier things. Ranger completely forgot to tell us that he had Pizza Hut for dinner yesterday, by Olivia's choice. Nice. How was it?
I see she is a girl of culture.
I'm wearing this because, unironically, the Pizza Hut shirts you gave me, Ranger, are my comfort shirts. And whenever I imagine we might deal with some heavy shit in the game we're playing on stream, I try to wear these because it makes me feel better. It can't undo what we're dealing with, but, you know, there's some comfort.
Haven't had Pizza Hut in...
years.
Not years, but at least a year and a half or so. 2 years maybe.
I think 2 years, but... Poltergeist is one of the Scarlet Violet DLC mons, one that looks like Sinisty, and like Sinisty is an extremely rare second masterpiece from... Oh yeah,
yeah, then I know which one you mean.
Remember that.
I've only ever seen that in the DLC thingy. Never seen that Pokemon come back anymore.
You know what will never get DLC? This game, because Tifa ain't reading her lines. Exactly.
That's why there were some problem kids at the orphanage. Maybe I shouldn't call them problem kids though. The sadness and despair of losing their parents, and the anger at having to hide such feelings filled those kids' heart. Spending time individually with the children could have solved their problems. But at the orphanage where I was, none of the staff members even tried to spend time with them or put in an effort to understand them.
Without orphans, we wouldn't get there.
But I think it's now safe to say that the scene with Eriko was a flashback in the orphanage, probably, where they stole the key and tried to get in someplace.
Technically a flash forward.
Why a flash forward? If this is now... The narrator is talking in the past tense.
Oh wait, yeah, this is reverse. This is with her grandfather who adopted her later, then the orphanage, and then how she lost her father. Okay, yeah.
She kept talking, my father was.
I'm trying to pull you over here, Tifa.
You're the one that keeps moving me, you know?
Yeah, because you sit like an asshole. Like, no, stop moving. You're sitting in ways that you keep getting out of frame and it annoys me, even if nobody else is.
But you're the only one that keeps pushing me.
Read your line.
All they could do was make sure that the kids followed the rules. Therefore, they could only see the children's emotional pleas for help, less problems. In this world, nobody expresses love without expecting something in return. The person who founded that orphanage was expecting something in return as well.
Oh god, I feel like I'm about to be sick.
He wanted the children to appreciate him. That was why such a faint dream was destroyed by cruel reality. The children called the orphanage a prison, and nobody appreciated the staff at all. In fact, all they did was complain. That made the staff slowly realize that love alone couldn't run a facility like that. Just like how the children called it a prison. But in fact, did you see the background picture? That was peak prison. Metal doors.
I don't believe anything Takano explains.
Just like how the children called it a prison, the staff started to recognize the facility as a prison too. It was a chain reaction resulting from mistrust on both sides. The staff bound the children with rules so they could suppress problem behavior. There was a framed picture of the founder of this orphanage, but I'd never seen him in person. Was he satisfied with the fact that he put his own money into this social service? Or maybe he finally realized his dream of being surrounded by angelic children and being celebrated for what he did was simply that, a dream. Or tax money. I don't know. But there's one thing I'm certain of.
You remember how they just explained earlier that there is no money in this? Takan, you read the line as Takano.
Potato, potato. Such a dream didn't exist at the orphanage.
They're usually the asshole is the body part that knows the best about it. That's the magic of Tifa. With her, it don't work like that.
Excuse me?
Talking about assholes, how about I'll be one and say that I have to go pee. So, short break?
BRB.
Before we can get our souls ripped out some more?
We're back.
We are.
Also, having now listened to this background for 10-15 minutes, I'm now completely done with it. now it's enough, you know, like, let's go back to, like, silence, if anything.
You know, you could have just done this. Now we can't hear anything, I just lowered the volume first.
Like, do it definitely softer than it was before.
Much louder.
I kind of forgot sound control is an option.
I will leave it like this because I want to hear when the music changes.
Yeah, but
Tifa being Tifa
like
again.
this. And then when the music changes, you can turn it up again.
How do I hear the music change if I can't hear the
You
music?
can still hear it softly in the background. No. Now that I know volume control is a thing. Oh wait.
Yes, you can also just unplug your earphone.
But then I don't know when it changes, so when
I will tell you.
Okay, fine.
Do you see what... If the beginning of a stream with a recap wasn't enough already? This is what I'm dealing with. It's almost like you can do stuff with computers. Yeah, I know, right? Weird. Imagine doing this for like almost 5 years and like, well... I love you, Tifa, but sometimes you make me question reality.
My parasite is confused.
I can tell. Also, no, Jack, it's not the asshole that pees, but I just went. Hey, self-deprecating humor. Now, Tifa, if you would take us away, please.
There were so many rules and several plausible standards outlined for us. But the most valued one was silence.
The best thing with children, silence.
Children's chatter tends to increase each other's volume, just like mics drawing closer. And sometimes that leads to fights and the disturbance of order. So children were forbidden from speaking with each other.
Okay,
also, did you see the font change, or is that just me?
I did not see that. I think you are going blind, Tifa.
Okay. Like, this suddenly seemed more bold. That's definitely me. With those disallowed, they must have thought things would go smoothly. However, I think I always heard people's voices at the orphanage. There were two kinds of voices. One was the staff yelling, and the other was the children crying. They were not allowed to walk around inside of the orphanage freely, so we never knew who it was that was crying.
I'm sorry, but how would you think this is a good way to run an orphanage? Children aren't allowed to speak to one another? You aren't allowed to move freely?
One time, along with the crying and yelling, we heard the noise of metallic things being smashed against one another. We knew it was some kind of punishment, but there was no way for us to even imagine what it was. We trembled, pretended we didn't hear anything, and kept working on our assignments. One of my roommates told me it was the casket punishment, but she didn't tell me any further, and I didn't want to know either. Even if we behaved exactly the same way as yesterday, if the staff were in a bad mood, they might pick on us. So even if I didn't want to know, I might suddenly find out what the casket punishment is one day.
Are we going through this to kind of hint us along on the way why Takano is so fascinated by all of those torture devices? Because she experienced that as a child?
Probably. The footsteps of a staff member were getting closer. We noticed them, so we straightened our backs and pretended we were studying hard. It was more important that the staff saw us. It was more important that the staff saw us doing so.
It was more important that the staff saw us doing so than us actually getting any work done. No, Tifa, no! You have lost all of your brownie points for the rest of this entire chapter already.
It was more important that the staff saw us doing so than us actually getting any work done.
Tifa wanted to do the... Oh, Jack read the line, so let's continue. No, Tifa, no. We have standards here. Even if you're trying to piss them away one day at a time, no. I'm putting my foot down. Quality.
I was just pulling your leg, don't worry.
I'll pull your legs off.
I noticed the girl next to me was falling asleep, so I poked her with my elbow. She noticed my signal and straightened her back like the other children. It was almost evening. This was the hardest time for us to keep ourselves awake, and the most dangerous time. The door to our room opened and a mean-looking man showed up. Then he looked around to make sure none of us were falling asleep. Even if we were actually studying hard, if he thought we were asleep, we were out. That was why we had to make sure we appeared to be studying very hard. The man walked around our desks. I hoped he would just walk by me. That was what we all prayed as we kept working on our homework. The more we pretended to study hard, the more we could hear the sound of metal objects. The sound of metal objects crashing into each other along with the screams. We couldn't even imagine what the poor subject of this punishment was going through.
I'm guessing like a metal bucket on the head, and when they hit the bucket, which probably will make you deaf, but this is so fucked up.
Maybe there was something even worse than the casket punishment. To erase such fears, we tried to concentrate even harder on our work. We kept working, and as the metal sounds and the screams went on forever. Wow, you didn't tell me the music changed. I hear the crickets.
Tifa, the music has changed.
I hear
There's
the crickets
now.
through your thing.
Good. Well, if you don't listen to the you don't deserve crickets.
The only time we were allowed to exchange words with our roommates was right after turning the lights off to go to bed. Being located in the middle of the mountains, the orphanage was very quiet at night. After making sure the staff members were far enough from our room, we enjoyed talking amongst ourselves. It was the only leisure time allowed to us.
Amongst ourselves is the more elaborate version of Among Us. I'm suddenly getting kind of like flashbacks to St. Lucia's.
That wasn't as bad.
The school that Shion was running away from? No, it wasn't that bad, but...
That's just, what do you call it, boarding school?
Do we get all of this just so that we start feeling bad for Takano?
Yes.
Okay.
Though it wasn't anything nice, like enjoying pleasant conversation. Why? Because we mostly talked about others behind their backs. We spoke of things like, that member of staff is only strict or unfair or malicious towards this person, and so on. We just repeated those topics forever until someone couldn't keep themselves awake anymore. We even discussed how we could get back at the staff, and we took revenge on all of them in our imagination. Some kids even started to cry when talking about it, difficult as it was for us. Although the subjects we spoke of were negative, talking about them was the only way to vent our frustration. And even though we felt despair about tomorrow, we were able to fall asleep.
Trust me, I don't want to go to a boarding school. I think Tifa was trying to talk about a boarding school.
I corrected myself after border school.
But doesn't a border school only focus on geography and where the lines are on the map?
No, it's called that because the school is exactly at a border.
But wouldn't that be good for cultural exchange? For students from both countries come back. Or more countries, depending on what border.
Well, depending on who you ask, that's not a good thing, I guess.
They mostly focus on not getting the kids deported. Wait, I thought we were going along with a mishearing or missaying of Tifa. Do border schools actually exist?
Is it a thing?
Because if so, oof, and I'm sorry for making fun of that. I hadn't heard that term before.
And how does it... Actually, first I want to know if it's an actual thing. But sometimes a different subject popped up. It was about the Yurigaoka House of Love and Mercy on the other side of the river.
Fully a joke. Oh god. Ranger, I don't blame you. It's more of a fact that I blame this timeline we live in, that there was even a chance that this wasn't a joke and I was just being awfully unaware of something happening right now.
The fact that you can imagine there's a need for it.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be the worst thing I've heard in a while, you know? I mean, among the worst things, but not the single worst things. I also blame Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, I think I can be blamed for many things.
I blame billionaires. So, I'm sorry, the Yurigaoka House of Love and Mercy on the other side of the river. Is that a brothel?
That kind of does sound like it.
It sounds like it's either an orphanage that has a very specific focus on their marketing, or a brothel. You good, Tifa?
Yeah. Over there, I hear they get not only nap time but snack time too. Plus their president is a very nice person.
Okay, yeah.
The House of Love and Mercy was a privately run orphanage, just like the one I was at. But it was a very kind facility, unlike ours. It seemed like a fantasy land compared to our current environment. A few years before, when this place was a lot worse, a few children tried to escape. It was hard to believe. There was a time when this orphanage was even worse to live at. Supposedly 3 or 4 people tried to escape. I don't know the exact number though. They headed to the Laos hut.
They headed to the Laos of Hove and Hersey.
They headed to the House of Love and Mercy. Their escape was a success. Except for one unlucky child, they were able to get to the property of the House of Love and Mercy. Say House of Love and Mercy one more time.
Okay, mission challenge accepted.
I'm gonna call it Lamb from now on.
No.
I guess the staff couldn't follow them into the other orphanage's property. What is this?
It's trespassing.
In other words, the other facility's property had to be out of their jurisdiction. Yeah, but they own the kid, basically.
Do they though?
Yes. They have as an orphanage, you have guardianship over...
Okay, listen to this hot take. If they don't come after you to bring you back to the orphanage once you cross an imaginary invisible barrier, there's some shady shit happening. There's a reason why they go... Can't go further than this, sorry. Kids gotten away.
And the staff were frustrated that kids got away from them. And they dragged the one they called back here. I'm sure they wanted to bring back the others who got away from them too. I'm certain the staff were determined not to let a single one escape. It was easy to see that determination in the obstinate way they locked the place up after that event. But they were never able to bring back the ones that got away. No matter how much the staff were mortified, they couldn't reclaim the children and punish them. In other words, if you could make it to the House of Love and Mercy, then you could escape the evil clutches of this hell. On the other hand, the one they caught went through such misery afterwards. Yet the exact details of how he was punished were never passed down. All that remained were ominous phrases left by those who knew him at the time. The drowned ducky, the mashed caterpillar, the splayed piggy. I can't even imagine what kind of punishments they were. The one thing I can say is that those punishments were supposed to be far more harsh than the casket punishment, which was the most cruel one I knew at the time. I can only imagine how horrible all those punishments were from their ominous names.
If you say House of Love and Mercy 3 times in front of a mirror, Jeff Bezos builds a new delivery warehouse in a third world country. Everybody, please do it at your own peril and then report back.
If you say it more than 3 times, you have to work there yourself.
That's in the fine print. That's what Ranger was currently typing. It also includes that you will work with.
Suddenly a contract written in blood.
Yeah. Imagine, like your own blood suddenly starts appearing in letters on the mirror.
Employed.
Mm-hmm.
After that, the captured kid's wish came true, and he was able to leave the orphanage. Was he able to leave this orphanage safely and enjoy his freedom while breathing in fresh air under the blue sky?
Probably in a body bag.
Well, according to the rumors, that wasn't what happened at all. While he was playing in the boiler room, he slipped and fell, injured his brain and died. The children were instructed not to go into the boiler room after the incident. Everyone knew the room was always locked. So everyone knew. He was killed. And not just that. He was killed after being tortured. He was killed to teach the other children that they would face hell on earth if they tried to escape.
My question is, unironically, completely serious. Takano explained in the beginning that those civilian orphanages don't receive any money.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing this?
Well, it started with them being all nice and happy to take care of those kids. Then the kids were mean to them.
No, why are they running an orphanage?
But because they wanted to be loved by the children in return. The owner is lonely and wanted children to adore him. The owner
never shows up.
He's probably older already. What if he showed up first, then things turned sideways, he gave up, as she said, and never showed up again because fuck them kids.
So every month this man spends an exorbitant amount of money on having a building maintained and having staff to treat kids like absolute shit. Well, and allegedly also torture and kill them.
Well, one, at this point we don't know if this person is still alive or not. And
who's
two,
funding them then?
I don't know, question.
Because it's not the government.
Questions you're not gonna get an answer to. And two, what if he gave up but is still just paying for it because you can't easily disabandon disbandon a orphanage. What you gonna do with them kids?
Like you just said, fuck them kids. Let them go to the House of Love and Mercy.
I'm sure there's some government rule in place here. Yet those who faced that risk and made it out obtained ordinary, average lives full of love and mercy's namesake, which were far better conditions than we lived in here.
In namesake?
Maybe the House of Love and Mercy was really heaven. Maybe all the orphanages are pretty much the same. But compared to my orphanage, I bet anything else would have been better. Even if someone escaped successfully, the police would catch him. Then he'd be sent back to the orphanage, which would be pretty much the same as being killed. However, If he could reach the house of love and mercy, they'd take him in. They wouldn't send him back.
This all seems like they're setting up some sort of path of redemption for Takano, and I'm just not into it.
Can I just say the house?
No.
By talking about escaping to the love of house and mercy, we were trying to
No,
forget
the
how
love
cruel-
of house and mercy?
Oh, that's what I mean. I've been saying it too much already. We can do a drinking game every time
Just-
the house shows up.
Chill
all
and
take
read
a
your
shot.
line.
By talking about escaping to the house of love and mercy, we were trying to forget how cruel reality was to us. I can't even feel pity for Takano with how annoyed I am.
Bad narration deserves pain. Not for that.
This is the splashing piggy. Then one day the leader of our group, Eriko, said to us quietly,
Would you try to escape if you had a chance to? Take a drink every time X goes on a tangent, dies. Don't do that. No. Even if you relax it, like take a drink for every 5 minutes of a tangent, you will still die. Do something healthy. Study a language you always wanted to learn. Do some light exercises. Think about somewhere you want to go on a vacation. Do something nice.
Gonna look like The Rock at the end of stream.
Please don't.
Who didn't want to escape from here? It was a rather foolish question.
Me, I want to escape it.
But that wasn't what she meant. If there was a chance to escape, would you take that chance knowing that you had to go through if you got caught? That was what she meant. Not one of us could answer immediately. If the previous escape incident was a total success, then we might have thought differently. But after that, the orphanage had tightened up security to prevent runaways.
And now the group in the room decides to try to run away because with the previous story, 4 kids ran away, 1 got caught, leaving 3 behind. So there's a 75% chance of success. It's gonna be quick enough.
All the doors and windows were locked heavily and wouldn't be at all easy to get out. Even if another group escape was planned, the success rate would be very low.
They boarded up the windows and doors with metal bars, and they installed a black and white bear as a teacher.
That's in the House of Love and Mercy.
House of Hope and Despair.
That's a good one.
I know. Tifa, go pick up the things you've already dropped. Tifa's fidgeting again.
It's fine. Yeah, if I really...
Okay, you still have one thing.
It's because I have a hard time getting into this bit. It makes the fidgeting worse.
Here, take my hand. Read the lines. Yeah, if that's what it takes, I'm
It's
willing
fine.
to take that punishment.
I still
wait.
have more. Bless you.
I'm allergic to this bullshit.
Even if another group escape was planned, the success rate would be very low. 3 escaped and 1 was caught before. Maybe 2 would be caught next time.
Thank you, Ranger.
No, maybe everyone would be.
If I could, I'd want to escape.
You can also be Kikaku.
Kikuko! Tifa, it's 7 letters. No, 6. I'm dumb. So, Afid, it's Tifa, just different order. It's not that bad. It's just...
I'm allergic to non-frog detectives.
Understandable.
Yeah, very understandable.
I think this is an all-girls school. I'm already one of them.
I'm doing the main voice. I doubt these characters will show up that
Yeah, it
much.
sucks being the main character, doesn't it? Deal with it.
Excuse me, I was all the other 6 voices.
Go on.
But the House of Love and Mercy is so far away. The bridge is long too. We'll all be caught before we get there.
Besides, we can't even go outside. Everything is locked up.
There were locks all over the orphanage. To escape, you'd need a key for both the inside and the outside. And after the lights were turned off, even each section of the hallway was individually locked.
Tifufo. Sounds like a dish.
That's gonna be my new MMO character's name. Make no mistake, this was a prison. According to the rumors, orphanages receive government funding depending on the number of children they house.
You said the opposite earlier.
So if anyone escapes, they lose money. Also, if we were to expose the conditions at the orphanage, they would end up being inspected and things would get complicated for them. That was why they were so intent on keeping us locked up. What are they gonna do when they turn 18?
Yeah,
Like at some point, someone turns 18.
The first rule of the orphanage is that you don't talk about the orphanage.
Sure, if there was a chance, I would want to... Sure, if there was a chance, I would want to escape. But realistically, there's no way we could. Every door is locked.
Well, did you know? The henhouse in the courtyard uses the same key as the door to the back stairs.
Eh? Really?
Shh!
Eriko shush.
Shush.
Sometimes mass-produced locks take the same key. Of course, most places use different types of locks so that this won't happen, but the staff at the orphanage must have overlooked it.
It's just cheaper.
So there are 2 locks that use the same key at the orphanage. However, most of us never had a chance to even touch the keys. But there were a few exceptions. One of those was the hen house. Each room group took turns taking care of different chores. Why is that such a weird line? If your group was assigned to clean the hen house, you'd have to get the key to it from the teacher's office. You were supposed to return the key immediately after you were done. But while taking care of the hen house, the key was in the children's hands. Aren't they supervised?
Apparently not. They
were even like, oh, we're never alone. There's always staff, only when we go to bed.
Yeah, deal with it.
While the staff would occasionally come around to check, they couldn't keep an eye on us forever.
The punishment is that we torture you to death, so... Eriko-chan, you aren't thinking about using that key, are you?
Let's not. It's too dangerous.
Of course it's dangerous if there's only one of us. But it's different if we're all in a group.
Wait, why?
Do you know where only one kid was caught the last time they tried to escape?
They were desperate. And so to escape as a group, they did something to increase the chance of success. Split!
Yeah, like in a murder horror movie. Let's split up and search the house individually.
That was why only one of them was caught.
What did they do? They scattered as they ran. They dashed in different directions. They waited until the day when there were only a few people working at the orphanage and ran this way and that.
And so, although it all depended on luck, it would increase the chance of success for sure. On your own, you'd probably have no hope. But if the staff were to chase after other children, then your own chance of escaping successfully would increase. In other words, Eriko was inviting us to escape with her. The more children joined, the more each of our chances would increase.
We all leave.
But among us, there were children who tattled to the staff for their own benefit.
Sauce.
So she had to be very careful about who she talked to.
Also, Dark Lord, you have a very good point. It's fucked up, but the idea isn't that you get out first, it's just that you have to run faster than the others.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the same when a lion is chasing you. You don't have to be faster than Tifa. No, you don't have to be the fastest, you just have to be faster than Tifa.
No, that's true.
I killed my punchline by saying it wrong.
Even if I am faster though, I am very plump and juicy looking.
Yes, you are a snack after all.
Eriko must have trusted us a lot. When I bet Eriko gets killed. Eriko, me, Tomomi, and Kikuko.
Kikuko!
It's a hard name.
No, it's not.
And
Run that again.
Eriko, me, Tomomi, and Kikuko.
That hesitation.
Jakuko. Hey, that I can say. It's the Kikuko.
Tifa, I will not let you abbreviate this person's name as KKK.
Oh, now I see what you're saying. I'm just saying it's the KKK sounds, not the KKK.
I also have a problem with that, Tifa. Stole my joke, Jack. You're welcome.
4 children.
Do any of you want to stay here a day longer?
The 3 of us shook our heads. But at the same time, we couldn't agree to escape with her either.
Of course we don't want to stay here a day longer, or even an hour longer.
Even if we did exactly the same thing as we did yesterday, we might get yelled at tomorrow. I can't stand this anymore. I can't stand living in fear of what to do and what not to do so I won't be yelled at. Sounds like work. We all feel the same way.
Oh, sorry, I can't pet you anymore.
We could endure strict rules. But it was almost impossible to endure fake ones. It wasn't too much of a stretch to say that the rules depended on the mood of the staff.
So there were no rules, this was all just plain cruelty.
This is okay, that isn't okay. Such borderline rules change daily. And if we were to say anything about that, we would be treated horribly for it.
I will escape even if I have to do it alone. Like I said, the more people that join, the better our chance. Think about it. If they find out about this henhouse key trick, they're sure to change the lock on the back door. In other words, we only have one chance. So even if you regret not joining in later, it'll be too late. But, oh, I'm scared.
I'm scared too. If we get caught, we'll be killed. Tomomi and Kikuko weren't the only ones who felt
and
afraid.
now like it's one sentence, please? You can do it, Tifa. You can say Kikuko.
I just did that.
No, you didn't.
I just said it slower.
Tifa, you said it so slow, we could have given you dental work in the sentence. Any slower and it would have been a satanic verse because you started speaking backwards.
Tomomi and Kiko.
Take a drink every time she fucks it up. That's the second one.
I don't know what it is for it.
Kikuko.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
Kikuko.
It makes my tongue trip.
Tomomi and Kikuko.
Kikuko.
Good old Kikuko. I know, right? My favorite character right now for some reason.
Drinking games to the death. You need a lot of lives to stream. Tomomi and Kikuko. Okay. Cut.
Cut. Everybody. Positions.
Take 6. Tomomi.
Obi-de-dobi. Tifa, I'm gonna give you one last chance. I'm not doing this because I think it's funny. I'm not doing it because I want to torture you or anything. I just think everybody deserves to have these lines read the way they are written. Editor, add Kikuko counter to see how long it lasts. Jack, come on.
Tomomi and Kikuko weren't the only ones who felt afraid.
See? Psycho? This is what I mean. She can do it. You just have to somehow get between those ears and wriggle it free.
I can sometimes do it. English is also my second language.
Same. But Kikuko is Japanese. And it's a name.
I don't know why that's so funny.
Do you want to finish in 2025 or not? I'm doing what I can. It's not my fault Tifa gets all the lines.
The fear was perfectly understandable. Because all of a sudden the fear of the punishment that would follow had become very realistic. I'm sure Eriko felt the same way too.
Erika.
My first thing is to say Erika. I know so many Erikas. I don't know a single Eriko. My first instinct is to say Erika.
And?
That's where that is coming from.
You can't get the worm out without a healer. Eriko is a stranger name. That is true. For us it is. What about Erikikuko?
Erikikuko.
Why can you do that? She's fucking with us. The chair agrees.
Maybe I should stick to Erikikuko.
You could have. I would have also decided if you went with Eriko and her.
Oh, I can't do that.
No, you don't. Go.
Also, now that you mentioned the worm getting the worm out without a healer, Baldur's Gate has also predicted this whole thing.
You mispronouncing names?
No, the whole
Parasite?
parasite hive mind
I
thing.
guess.
But her courage was suppressing her fear. And because of that, she shared her idea with us.
So do you plan to stay here forever?
No way!
I know you're scared, but this is the only chance we have. You have to be brave just this once. What about you, Miyoko? Don't you want to go with me?
Unlike Tomomi and Kikuko, I wasn't trembling that much.
It's like riding a bike. Now she can do it. Good old...
Arakokra?
Arakokra? What?
Sounds like an exotic fruit for some reason. Or a parrot. Of course, I was scared in my own way, but compared to the other two, I must have appeared rather calm. Can we really escape? Of course, Eriko couldn't guarantee our success, but I had to ask her anyway.
There's no guarantee. But if you join me, I'll have a better chance of escaping than trying to run on my own. Of course, the same goes for you too.
Eriko gave a calculated reason, but I'm sure she just wanted a friend to agree with her. That was probably more important to her than increasing her chances to escape.
The Arakokra are bird people from Dungeons and Dragons. Tifa naturally got it right the first time. You don't want to praise her right now. I appreciate it, but wrong moment. This is gonna reinforce bad things inside of her. Tomomi, Kikuko, if you skip...
Kikuku?
No, I got that right.
No, you didn't. You said Kikuku.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
Oh. It's the accent, huh?
Yes, I get to do this because English is my second language. Okay, last one and then we get back in. Did you know that Kikuko spelled backwards is race car? Tomomi, Kikuko, if you're too scared, then I won't force you. Miyoko and I will escape ourselves. Two is enough. Well...
Eriko rushed the two to make up their minds. It almost looked cold, but that was her way of mustering their courage.
Now or never, right?
Because it was very possible that regardless of the outcome of our escape attempt, as our roommates, those two would be held responsible.
It's not like we'll do it tomorrow. Our turn to take care of the hen house is in a week. We'll wait for a perfect time to do it. If we don't feel that it's safe, then we'll wait until our next turn. We'll be very careful.
The rotation of the staff and the timing were important, but we also each had to know the way to the House of Love and Mercy.
The Laos of Hao and Hersey.
We were planning to split up, so we had to know the area. I made up my mind. Okay, I'm coming with you. But let's time our escape very carefully, okay?
Of course. We'll be killed if we get caught. I don't want to die. I'll come too.
Me too. Tomomi and her... Okay, fine. Tomomi and Kikuko agreed, and so we all decided to escape as a group.
It's always Tomomi. Can't even say it anymore. It's always those two.
We wait. Yes, the combination doesn't happen in any other form.
Mm-hmm.
What about they? They all agreed. We waited for the perfect opportunity. We waited for the day where only a few staff members were at the orphanage. And we decided to let God take care of the rest.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Thoughts and prayers.
Mm-hmm. And we're back here.
Ah, it's open. Maybe it was the way I did it. Eriko tried to open the lock several times without success, but I got it open on the first attempt.
Good old Kimumi and Tituto.
The back door opened slowly and we felt a cool breeze.
Wait, didn't they get caught earlier? Then we had the splash cut to the title.
No, they heard footsteps.
Yeah, and then there was a weird sound, and then Higurashi went back.
The door opening.
Oh, that was her taking the keys and doing it herself. Oh, I thought somebody got stabbed or something.
This wasn't the world of freedom just yet. In fact, it was the exact opposite. If the staff were to find out we were here, we would be in big trouble. It was a world of danger. But unless we went through that dangerous world, we wouldn't be able to go any further.
Okay, let's go.
I think Eriko wanted to say that. We were planning to leave with that as our cue. But what we heard instead wasn't Eriko's voice.
What are you kids doing there?
We started to run. It was raining. We all got soaked immediately and our clothes stuck to our skin. While that would normally be very uncomfortable, we couldn't even stop to think about that.
So I can't do the jailbreak now, I'm uncomfortable.
We could only keep running in the rain. We were dashing on gravel, but it felt more like trudging through a muddy rice field. My feet kept sinking and I couldn't pull them up. I was frustrated because no matter how fast I tried to run, I wasn't gaining any speed.
Me at the gym.
I felt a sense of urgency. I heard someone yelling
Escape!
behind me, and all I could do was run like crazy.
Oh, okay, everyone, go in different directions. Come on, scatter.
With Eriko's cue, we all went different ways, hoping they wouldn't be coming after us. Would we be able to reunite safely at the House of Love and Mercy? All four of us there together? Or maybe someone would be missing. No, maybe everyone else would make it, and I'd be the one who gets caught. My thoughts were interrupted by the voice of a staff member coming from behind me.
Hold it! Wait, hold it right there!
The staff members would have numbered fewer than us, so if I was lucky, they wouldn't be coming after me. Praying that the staff voices I heard in the distance weren't after me, I looked back for a moment.
And then time stopped and there was a silver bullet hovering in front of my chest.
If I had time to turn around, why didn't I take another step forward? Why didn't I try to escape further? As I turned around, I felt a huge hand cover my face. Its pinky finger slipped into my open mouth.
Artist depiction?
Well, to be fair, if she didn't turn around, he probably would have grabbed her hair.
Yeah.
They always make it seem like, oh, if I didn't turn around, they wouldn't have caught me, but then they were that close already, they would have grabbed something else.
It appears that they're catching up, so yeah.
The hand grabbing my face shoved me into the muddy gravel. Of course I didn't stay quiet. I fought back. And then I saw his face. It was the scariest face I'd ever seen. I realized it immediately. He only wanted to capture me alive to use me as an example. And considering what would happen to me afterwards, killing me here on the spot wouldn't pose any problem, would it? Yeah, he looked at me with unworldly hate, ready to end my life here and now. His pinky finger ended up touching my tongue. Yee. Don't make me bite you.
Artist depiction? Boop.
The indescribable nasty taste sent an icky feeling through my whole body. That's it. This is what my murder tastes like. He was going to shove that finger down my windpipe and suffocate me. And so, in order to live, I fought back in the only way I could.
She bit down.
Something warm filled my mouth.
Shoop the woo.
It's an emote.
Yes. Yes. Don't boop the shoop the woo. Oh my god. I would have done the same thing just out of instinct.
Oh no. Can a human bite off a pinky in one bite?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I guess if you bite at the right place.
No. If you're in the right situation, yes. You are so hopped up on adrenaline. She just saw the scariest thing ever in her life. This person is going to kill you. You will bite down like a freaking pit bull. And you will not let go unless you turn off.
If the chance presents itself, bite.
Always bite. It's the move nobody expects, even though it's so obvious.
No, sure.
It's super easy, barely an inconvenience. Unfortunately.
The human jaw is strong and in a state of fear. It could. Well, that is true.
Apparently, fingers have a density of carrots. How do you know that's so detailed, Mame? Sus.
We should test that out.
Why are you looking at my hands like that suddenly?
I was thinking that if we test it out, I should use your finger.
I would like to keep those.
I'm willing to sacrifice my left pinky.
No, Tifa. Read your line.
Fine.
Yeah, I was thinking, do I press the button or do I tell her to please continue?
It felt like swallowing blood after a nosebleed.
Except there's a big chunk in it.
I could never be a cannibal, by the way, because I hate the flavor of a mouthful of blood.
Not the taste. It's what a normal person would say. The taste of blood. The flavor. The flavor. You just told everybody that you would, Tifa. I'm sorry, I don't like the flavor of your blood.
Deer apparently will eat human fingers if they find a corpse.
Yeah.
Why just the fingers? Well, I guess
because
it's easier
they apparently have a density of carrots.
No, I guess it's easier to fit in their mouth instead of taking... Or they can't rip off chunks of flesh like out of your belly. So they just go for the finger that fits in their mouth and they can just bite off. No, that actually makes perfect sense.
Watch me. Tifa doesn't like her meat rare. No, I'm well done. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, Darklord. I was snacking on some pinky fingers when I encountered a post about it on the internet. That's how I know.
Wait, what's a pinky finger?
This thing. It was about...
I was Oh. I thought maybe it was an actual snack.
I was having a jokey moment with Mame and you came in and you butchered it in its infancy. Oh boy, yeah. I'm not saying I'm the world's greatest comedian, but I'm glad Tifa isn't my only audience because you see what I get, right? Deer are opportunistic omnivores, which means they'll eat any damn thing if it's easy. It's understandable.
That sounds about right. Like slugs.
Tifa, please read your lines.
I spit it from my mouth and ran without turning around, leaving behind the staff member clutching his pinky finger. Now that would have been a treasure to take along.
You little shit, damn you! I'll kill you!
I heard his roars echoing behind me. It wasn't a man that was after me. It was a beast.
Okay, I mean, I'll take it.
He had no interest in capturing me. His only goal was to see me dead. My shoes had slipped off. They weren't sneakers. So they came off easily while I was running like mad. My bare feet struck the gravel over and over. It was painful, but I didn't care. Because if I stopped, I knew what would happen to me.
Do they know the way to the House of Love and Mercy?
Yeah, they were talking about that a
Okay.
week beforehand, but they should know the area and the way. The branches cut my face and barbed wire scratched my thighs. My feet and toes were bloody from running on gravel. Blood from the staff member's pinky finger dripped down from my mouth, staining my chin and chest. I was running for my life with scratches and cuts all over my body. If I were to get caught, I would be killed.
Barbed wires? Yeah, in the woods. I was confused about that for a moment too, but given the nature of this predicament that she's in, I'm actually not shocked. That's not a normal orphanage. If it has a fucking barbed wire around it, that's crazy.
It's extra security. If I were to be caught, I would be killed. If my pursuer had any sense, then I would be killed after being tortured. But if he didn't, I would be killed on the spot. I don't want to be killed. I don't want to be killed. My lungs and hearts were about to explode. My lung and hearts. I have several hearts. My lungs and heart were about to explode. My mind was blank from fear and lack of oxygen. I was about to lose consciousness. I might have given in if I didn't hear the voice of the staff member coming after me. My knees were shaking. My legs wouldn't move properly. I felt like I was going to fall like a puppet with its strings cut. But I couldn't fall. I couldn't fall just yet. It was too late. My face had hit the gravel.
Knees weak, arms are heavy. There's blood on my sweater already.
I just dropped my mom's spaghetti.
Pursuer's pinky fingetti. No, it didn't work. For some reason I was imagining random rolls of barbed wire out in the woods. I wouldn't be shocked if that's how they actually did it, just to deter people from running through it.
Red sauce in tomato.
Gotta keep the wolves out. Wolves have been extinct in Japan for centuries. Really? I didn't know that.
Oh.
But on the surface she looks calm and ready to drop bombs. If she keeps running through barbed wire, she'll turn into confetti. That's horrible.
Yeah. I felt the awful sensation of falling. And immediately after, the roar of the beast coming from behind me.
Damn you! My finger! My finger!
Ah! I must have hit my thigh against the steering wheel when I jumped. She fell asleep and it was all a dream.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel the throbbing pain delayed slightly. I'm sweating all over. I wiped the sweat on my forehead and put my hand on my chest, only then realizing how fast my heart was beating. I rubbed my thigh. I rubbed it in a straight line. That's awfully specific. That's not where I hit the steering wheel. But I feel like this is where it hurts.
Old scars, probably.
Ghost pain.
Yeah, phantom pain.
I can't see a scary beast in the moonlit car. I have my shoes on and I'm not covered in blood. My toes are fine too. Someone knocked on the window, startling me.
Jiro Tomitake. Oh no. Major, it's time.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to take a nap, so I told him to come wake me up in an hour. Maybe an hour was too long. Too long a nap actually makes you tired.
Can't confirm.
No, I feel like I cannot do power naps. Like if I take a nap and I sleep for like 30 minutes,
yeah,
I am so dead.
30 minutes to 45 minutes, that's my sweet spot.
No, I am so dead after that. I
Any
just need
shorter,
to wake up naturally.
No point any longer. No. Just take a nap. Easy peasy. Or just sleep.
That's smart.
Here's a hot topic question for all of you. At what point, or after what duration, does a nap become a sleep?
Good point. I would say a nap is during a time where you don't usually sleep.
Yes. No, not at what time of day, after what length of a nap does it become a sleep?
Well, if you usually don't, and you sleep for 4 hours, let's say from 12 to 4, I would still call it a nap.
I like how I keep going. It's not about when, but how long. It was, yeah, so if I sleep from 12 to 4.
I'm explaining that it depends on the time of day.
After one REM phase, an hour or more.
Oh, there's actually, well, makes sense.
There's science to this, probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but...
That's why I sound dead every Friday for games. Joke's on you, I always sound dead. Doesn't matter on the weekday.
That's not true. Sometimes you don't.
Only sometimes.
I mean, you get to read Takano in the voice you chose for kind of adds to it. But that's how it is.
If I take a nap over my hour lunch, I'd call it a nap. Oh, fair.
Yeah. As long as I wake up if I need to clock back in. We wouldn't tell anybody.
We definitely need an alarm. I put my seat back up and got out of the car. The cool breeze feels good on my skin. I only see the moon. There's nothing else to see on this mountain trail. My car and a command vehicle disguised as a trailer are parked on the side of the street. I can still feel that bad taste in my mouth. I spat it out on the side of the street. But even that couldn't get rid of it. That is something that is so real. I have that with smell. There are like 2 or 3 moments in my life. One was while dissecting a giant water rat, and I opened up the intestines, and that was when I think I was like 14. I can still sometimes smell that.
Good for you. Sorry that you had to go through this. I'm not sure which reaction you want from me right now.
I'm just saying, like you have these moments.
Tifa is trying to say some sensations stay with you all of your life.
Yes.
And Tifa has it with smells. 3 smells. She started with dissecting a frog for school, and I'm worried about where the other 2 will go.
It was a water rat.
Oh, sorry. I misheard. I don't want to ask how you dissected a water rat, so please continue.
It was for school, by the way. And I was asked they asked for volunteers, and I was the volunteer. And I still kind of regret that, because like I said, that smell, I can still smell at times. It is so distinct.
Okay, moving on, what were the other 2?
The other 2 was when my niece once pushed my nose into bird shit, and I started throwing up. I still remember that.
Valid. Not having had this experience, valid. Yeah.
And the 3rd one, I actually don't know what that is from.
So you're lying to the internet. You're saying you have 3, but you can only recount 2.
No, I do sometimes have a 3rd smell, which is nicer. But
Tifa, when you have a 3rd smell, you go shower.
The river of pee poop will always stay with me. I can imagine.
Yes.
Actually, I can't imagine what that smells like. I also do not want to
like
imagine
every
what that smells like.
public toilet you've ever been to combined.
Close better.
One time I smelled an old ad for Earthbound in an old issue of GamePro. Because they made them disgusting on purpose, it smelled like horrible spices mixing with rotten food. I wanted to show how bad it was to my brothers, but it was too bad, so I had to throw it away. I only know that they did that from an episode of The Angry Video Game Nerd that he did on, I think it was the one about the Nintendo Power magazines, because that also had one.
Well, goal achieved.
Scratcher and then,
scratch and sniff.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad that never really turned into a thing.
I don't like it. I cannot tell you what the most disgusting thing I ever smelled was. I remember one of the most disgusting tastes was when, shortly after I decided to become a vegetarian, Tifa had the glorious idea. You know, tofu tastes very plain. So when we were at the Asia supermarket thingy, we bought a bunch of spice bags, like for different dishes.
I remember.
Back then, we both made the mistake of not looking at the ingredients. We just grabbed whatever looked interesting.
We got a Korean barbecue.
Vietnamese barbecue.
Oh, sorry, Vietnamese barbecue.
We've had Korean barbecue spiced dishes after, and they were delicious. We picked a spice bag. Vietnamese barbecue was the label. So we made some tofu, marinated that in that, baked it. Tifa ate a bite, almost threw up, and then kept eating for some reason.
I don't want to throw food away.
That's when I checked the labeling and the ingredients. It turns out that, at least this bag we bought, had fish paste in it.
Anchovies.
Anchovies, I think it was.
Oh, that was the nastiest thing I've ever eaten. But despite remembering how bad that tasted, the taste never comes back to me.
I can recall it if I want to. It doesn't come back involuntarily.
Because like with some of the other smells, at random moments, I just smell it.
I, back then, decided to eat the whole rest of a batch of tofu anyway, because I didn't want those fishies to have died in vain just for me to throw it away.
Oh, that was so nasty, I couldn't swallow it.
It was the single most disgusting thing I ever ate and was able to actually eat. Like I didn't have to throw up anything. I really hated the experience.
Absolutely.
It was the least edible thing I've ever had.
Callie took me to a sushi place on one of our first dates. Told her I liked spicy stuff. She said I could try wasabi, but only a little. And I decided to be a man. Took a huge chunk and felt an out-of-body experience. Filled by regret.
Nearly puked.
I feel that.
Did it go like through your nose into your brain, like to the front of your head? That's the experience I have with that stuff. If I have too much on it.
I tried a little bit of wasabi once, but
it wasn't wasabi that you tried. No.
I've tried wasabi with sushi before.
You haven't. They say it's wasabi.
You haven't. You weren't even there when I tried sushi.
Okay. Maybe. The vast majority of wasabi you buy in stores or you get at restaurants where they do serve it isn't actually wasabi. It's horseradish with green food coloring. Because horseradish with green food coloring, maybe some other spices, is awfully close to the taste of real wasabi. It's just much cheaper.
Well, still nasty.
And I believe I'm right in my imagination because Tifa also hates horseradish.
Either way, they called it wasabi and I tried it and it was nasty. Just like the sushi.
We need to get Jack some wasabi to try it. I have wasabi all the time. The horseradish stuff. When I have sushi. Just a little bit. I like the flavor. I love the flavor actually, but I don't like the pain. So it's just a little bit, just enough to taste it.
Blah.
Also, for Dark Lord, craft mac and cheese powder. But you don't have any milk, so it doesn't break up right away, and you get hot, sandy nuggets of super cheese. That sounds great and horrible at the same time. Wasabi-covered peanuts of that coating. Yes, I love those. I haven't had them in a decade at least.
That doesn't ring a bell.
I need to buy some next time we get the chance.
Good.
Thank you, Psycho, for reminding me of it.
I'm a pass.
Talking about tastes.
The taste of blood, saliva, and rain. Sweat from my forehead and raindrops got into my mouth, but I couldn't swallow, so I ended up drooling. That sensation around my lips brought back memories, and I tried to wipe my mouth. Phew. Maybe I'm nervous. That's why I had such a bad dream.
Or maybe part of you realizes you've turned into a real piece of shit.
What happened to the white unmarked van that we just mentioned?
That's not the white unmarked van, that's the mobile command
she said
center.
command vehicle, true.
Oh!
I think there's a coffee machine in the command vehicle. An unpleasant cup of coffee will wake me up. So, has anything happened yet?
No, not yet. We just got Gifu's schedule check-in. Everything is okay over there.
I see. Hey, could someone make me a cup of coffee?
Sure. Cream and sugar?
Just cream, please. Ah, no, please, put in some sugar too. I still have a bad taste in my mouth.
Wasn't the plan to replace the bad taste with another taste you find unpleasant?
Yeah, but it's about the sugar washing it out.
Okay.
The sugar getting rid of the bitterness.
Yes?
The feeling of biting and crushing his little finger and his filthy blood filling my mouth. I'm sure a sweeter cup of coffee will wash down that bad taste and also make me wake up from my nightmare completely.
If only I had pressed A.
Spoonful of sugar makes the blood coffee go down.
The blood coffee?
The blood coffee go down. The blood coffee go down.
I mean, to be fair, snacking on a pinky finger on your escape, that's just like a protein snack, right?
Ah, we finished the chapter! Woo!
You know that the first episode of a chapter usually is really short?
Well, achievement. Wait, was there no tip?
No.
Okay.
End of chapter 1. No, it's chapter 8!
Oh, are we going back to episodes?
No new tips available. Oh, the background is different too. Alright. Want to get a head start on episode 2, or do you want to be a little whiny bitch and go to bed?
I like to be a little whiny bitch, honestly. Start fresh tomorrow.
As if you're gonna be fresh.
No, I am 34 years old by now.
But if we only start tomorrow, there's a chance we'll get to a horrible cliffhanger for 2 weeks.
Fine, but like 10 minutes.
You're welcome, everybody. And you're only yapping for half of a stream. I know, right, Tifa? Banquet 2 backend over. One more speaker, then the toast starts. Are you ready?
This is the back end, we're ready. We can't hear anything from inside, so please give us a cue when the speech is wrapping up.
Listen up, 10 bottles of beer per table. Make sure to deliver them to your area smoothly.
10 bottles of beer on the table, 10 bottles of beer.
Imagine me reading my line.
Down it down. Oh.
And you were only yapping for half of a chapter so far. Young hotel workers dressed smartly in bow ties pulled bottle after bottle out of the beer cases, preparing for the toast. They waited for their cue to serve the drinks while listening through the intercom. At a normal party, they could put bottles of beer on the table ahead of time, but if there was a lecture before the party, then they couldn't. Guests don't mind sushi going dry during a long speech, but they don't like seeing their tables get wet with condensation from the bottles of beer. Hard disagree. I'd rather take it the other way around. And more than anything, they certainly don't want to drink warm beer.
What's wrong with ice buckets?
Not for beer, what are you? Barbarian?
Excuse me?
I don't understand it either. Better only be me at the table.
1 person per table. 10 beer per person.
That's why beer has to be served right before a toast. However...
Also beer? For a toast?
Yeah.
Who toasts with beer at a thingy? Don't you
People
always...
who drink beer.
Don't you use the bubbles?
Beer has bubbles.
No champagne.
Tifa, you were trying to sound smart and say the bubbly, which is sparkling wine.
Could you say bubbles?
No, it's
I'm quite
the
sure you
bubbly.
could say bubbles.
Somebody who actually speaks English, please tell me that I'm right.
I'm pretty certain you can just say bubbles. Kanpai.
Tifa wants to taste with toast with moonshine. Probably. However, there's always a speech before a toast. And usually a long one.
Only if it's a joke.
Especially at a big party like this, there are lots of guests that give speeches, so it's extremely difficult to know when to serve. For that reason, the bottles end up sitting outside by the banquet room, and people end up drinking warm beer anyway. Eva are valid. Dark Lord, you fence-sitting piece of shit. No.
Oh, wow. True Jack coming out.
Thank you for confirming. Now we know. I just wish it would have gone differently.
Also, no one would say the bubbly.
Yes.
No. Absolutely no one.
There were several dozen tables with white tablecloths on them in the banquet room. Approximately 8 people were sitting at each table, so there were at least a few hundred people in the room. The banquet room was filled with excitement.
That's a lot of beer.
There were many plates with many different kinds of food on each table. A sushi platter, a sashimi platter, a fruit platter. Also along the wall there were cooks ready to serve fresh sashimi. All the guests appeared to be well-mannered gentlemen and were clearly notable people in various different fields. The huge and beautiful chandelier above them clearly indicated that this hotel held a status good enough for these famous people. When in your that club and you're sipping that bub, then you're not gonna hear your telephone. Holy shit, that's Lady Gaga. Telephone. I know that song.
I think you made a good guess.
That's gotta be Telephone, right? By Lady Gaga? Dark Lord, please. I need to have a win today. Just one. An elderly gentleman was giving a lengthy speech on the stage before making a toast. Usually people don't like such long speeches.
I feel like you won at that line. That was great.
What?
You said you needed a win today.
Thank you, Tifa. That's... oh shit. Especially if it's before a toast. But the guests occasionally shouted, "Yes, yes!" and sometimes gave him a loud applause, filling the room with her fervor.
Who do you think this is?
Well, maybe fervor was a pleasant way to put it. It was probably more accurate to say that their excitement was bizarre. Correct, Jack, featuring Beyonce.
This is Keiichi's father showing off his latest art.
You have a senior member, by the way.
Which country would actually teach people not to show respect towards their own flag? Oh, it's the Tokyo group. There are no others. It's happening only in Japan.
I'm not proud of my country anymore.
That's right.
It's forcing people to
still me.
respect their national flag and anthem and obstruction.
Do you think it's the same senior member?
Hey, he's giving a speech.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you can continue.
No, go on.
Is forcing people to respect their national flag and anthem an obstruction of their freedom?
Yes, because it's forcing them.
That's a foolish idea.
Is it forcing you if I'm forcing you? Yes, you dumb fuck.
Listen, love for one's national flag and anthem comes naturally to all.
I fucking hate
To
Nazis.
know ourselves, to know our culture, to understand our history and our country itself. Those are the things that make you realize that you are a Japanese citizen, that make you understand the part you play as a citizen of this country. And the feeling you get from that love is towards your own country. However, those anti-Japan teachers are proclaiming that it's militaristic brainwashing. Those stupid claims are wrong. What are those people doing anyway? They're teaching our children to hate being Japanese. They're the ones brainwashing them with this self-destructive education. They are teaching our children that Japan should be ashamed of itself and that they should be ashamed of being Japanese. Forget who you are and deny your country. That's what they're teaching them. These innocent children listen and believe such nonsense. Of course they do. They go to school to learn things, right? If their teachers teach them that, of course the children believe it. Can you believe such corruption exists? We must do something about this country's education now, no matter what it takes.
Literally, almost verbatim, just change Japanese around with German. I've heard this very exact same line of thinking, the same speech effectively, from the right-wing parties in Germany. Literally, word for word. It's crazy.
Flag burning is a form of free expression. No, it isn't anymore.
It depends on the country, but Godspeed, USA. Don't know where you're headed, but I don't like it.
Maybe they should force the schools to have the 10 Commandments in the classroom.
Obviously. Also print on your money, in God we trust.
Recite them every day.
Reminder, they had to literally have the emperor announce he's not an avatar of the sun god Amaterasu, a god that walks the earth. Yup. It was the first time many people had heard Emperor Showa's voice. Understandable. If for hundreds or thousands of years you go, I am God's gift to you, then, somebody's gonna believe it. The sound of applause filled the banquet room. All the gentlemen agreed and expressed that they felt the same way by cheering him on. After that, a gentleman wearing a cloth sash approached the stage. The hall welcomed him. Hinamizawa. The hall welcomed him onto the stage with another round of thunderous applause. A rousing theme from a popular drama series played as he took the stage, but it was entirely unnecessary before the overwhelming applause. The man's sash carried his name written in large letters, along with the name of a prefecture he was running for office in.
Let me introduce you to a patriot, Kun. This man has served the former governor as his right-hand man as director in the office of the governor for many years, supporting the prefecture's government for a long time.
Emphasis on right-hand man?
Since the previous governor has decided to retire, he was appointed as the next governor.
Unfortunately, we have those anti-Japan teachers in our prefecture. While they proclaim freedom of education and freedom of thought, they're shamelessly forcing anti-Japan education down on our children. They don't teach real history, they teach our children that everything was Japan's fault. They don't even mention the true purpose of a greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere, or those who fought to save Asian peoples from Western control.
We don't even talk about how many Asian countries were actually Western colonies before Japan stood up for our freedom during the war. Our country has recovered amazingly since then, yet our... Sorry, I just had a horrible idea and redoing all of the lines. It's gonna be worth it.
Oh my god.
George Bush did Godzilla. Yes, he did. I hope this politician doesn't show up again because I only want to do this once and that moment is now. Unfortunately, we have those anti-Japan teachers in our prefecture. While they proclaim freedom of education and freedom of thought, they're shamelessly forcing anti-Japan education down on our children. They don't teach real history, they teach our children that everything was Japan's fault. They don't even mention the true purpose of a Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere or all those who fought to save Asian peoples from Western control.
It didn't move your small hands around enough.
I can't, I needed to scroll. I need to lean forward as well, I need to try to do a kissy face. We don't even talk about how many Asian countries were actually Western colonies before Japan stood up for our freedom during the war. Our country has recovered amazingly since then, yet our children don't want any of that because those teachers don't teach them. How truly, truly sad. I can't stand the fact that those anti-Japan teachers are actually teaching our children alongside those teachers who take teaching seriously. They're insulting our educational institutions.
I hope this politician keeps coming back.
Go ask the Chinese how nice we were to... Yeah, exactly.
It was all for the greater good.
Didn't we also do a bunch of shit in Korea? Yeah, don't ask the Koreans.
Hey, without us, we wouldn't know that the human body is made out of 70%, 75% of water. That is thanks to us and our sacrifice.
I will become a governor and get rid of those teachers. I will straighten out our educational system and make sure our children will grow up to be decent young people who can carry on Japan's future.
That was very well done.
That felt disgusting.
He announces his candidacy.
It's candy.
You want to see my candy?
Orange flavored asshole. It's chocolate rings. They have like ridges in them, making them look like an anus, and they're orange flavored.
He announces his candidacy for the next year's prefectural governmentship. We appreciate your support for him.
Don't ask how I said it gladly.
I promise I will straighten out Japan's educational system. Thank you for your support.
Please tell me the director of education is also the wife of a professional wrestling CEO? I hope not. Again, the banquet room filled with applause. The man was so my mouth is still trying to... The chocolate starfish, the orange flavored chocolate starfish. The man was receiving a standing ovation. I need to explain a bit about this banquet before you misunderstand. Is how we're gonna start the next stream. I think that's fair.
That is indeed fair.
I agree. I will double save.
I'm guessing this is either Tomitake.
These Japanese teachers, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs.
Tomitake or Takano?
Why do we live in this timeline? Why do we live in this timeline? Please, please. I quadruple saved today. I was so scared. Depending on the game, I sometimes do that too.
Just F5, Ranger.
Yeah. F5, wait for the message that you quick save to go away, press it again.
F5 during your gameplay every now and then will save your ass, yeah. I'm telling you.
And also manual saves through escape and then save. We're talking about Baldur's Gate. F5 twice and manual save twice. Ranger, you're living the real life. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Always gotta be safe. But like when you're just playing, sometimes pressing F5 has just saved my ass.
They're making the showers and the light bulbs run bad for...
Why? How? Oh my god. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have similar trends in Germany too. Thankfully not quite there yet, but the trends are clearly visible. But I don't want to live in this timeline. I want things to go well for everybody. I would like progress for science and culture and understanding and togetherness of the world. The game scared the poo out of me because my last save was on the ship. And that's why you regularly quick save.
I don't remember. What happens when your entire party wipes out?
You go back to your last save.
Oh, you actually do restart, okay. That has happened a while because I usually cheat in the majority of my playthroughs. I activate a mod where you can have 8 people in your party.
No, 16.
Well, I do. Fair enough. I add 8.
I only do twice the supposed party.
I have 8 in my party, so it's kind of impossible to die as well. But I never know who to pick to have the best balanced party, and I also feel like I miss out on the other characters if I don't have them with me.
That is true, Ranger. If you want to not have to kvetch about which characters to take along, since you're playing on PC, there's a mosquito here. There are mods for PC so that your group can be all the characters if you want to. There are some issues with that, but for 99% of the time of a game, it works just fine.
I can never just pick 3.
Yeah, I always go with a full party as well. I just love the bickering and bantering to each other. None of that sounds like profits, Jack. I don't care. I don't believe profits should be infinite. Maybe that makes me a liberal, socialist, leftist cuck, but I don't care. I believe as long as everybody gets to live wealthy, happy lives, that's enough. You don't need to earn or own every single cent in the planet. Hot take, I know, but sometimes the right wing doesn't change much from place to place. Yeah, idiocy is the same everywhere, effectively. It's always everybody else's fault. Especially with Europe being a place where a lot of refugees come to because of geographical layout. It's really funny to me when those assholes go, "Oh, it's the foreigners' fault. It's the refugees' fault." That's really awesome because that makes totally sense if you consider for a fact that things have been shitty for a couple of years and they keep getting worse, and the refugees have only been here for a very short amount of time. So how did they cause this before they came here? Oh, it's because
for years.
It's because they didn't. Yeah, but it's their line of arguing like this started when it happened. So 2015, I want to say, is when the...
I was gonna say we had refugee camps in our town back when I was in high school already.
Yeah, 2015 was when, I want to say 2015, when a lot of the Syrian refugees moved towards Central Europe. And even back then we're like, oh, it's the refugees' fault that for the last 10 years your life has been shit. How? How exactly? Is it maybe that rich people keep scamming me out of my money? It has nothing to do with people just want to fucking live?
If we give the richer people just a little more, it will start trickling down for real this time. It's like this machine in the casino where you keep adding coins to it until you hope at some point... Yeah, exactly. Until you hope at some point it falls down. It's basically like that.
Yeah, except every time you put more coins in there, the plateau that the coins are supposed to fall off of gets bigger.
Just gotta be patient. I agree.
No. 1 or 2 more generations, that's right. We wouldn't have this problem with regulations, wouldn't get in the way of building more housing, it's the government's fault. I agree with you, I would word it differently. It's the issue of people in government taking money from lobbyists to further the goals of people making money off of that. I talked to you about this the other day. I saw a documentary kind of thing about the German housing code and how to build housing, because the German one is super complex. And if I recall correctly, they made the example that the German housing building code is 3 times the amount of pages as the Dutch one. And when I told Tifa, I've never felt unsafe in the Netherlands. So I don't know if there's a perfect way, because I don't know shit about building anything, but your houses work fine.
I don't think so. We, however, have the problem that we don't build in height. And I'm not saying we need 20-floor apartments, but we like to build... What do you call
Houses. Reihenhäuser.
Yeah, row
Just houses.
houses. Or just houses, which adds to the issue as well. Instead of just building like 3 or 4 up and creating apartments, that's not really...
Really crazy idea. Everybody, maybe you can help me, tell me if this is stupid. What if a bunch of countries that are neighbors, let's say in the Europe area, would come together and form like an extra layer of government. We could call it the European Union. And besides the whole thing where they look at stuff independently, they could also make it so that we do like a best practice thing. Like, hey, I don't actually know because I don't know shit, like I said. But let's say, for example, Sweden has the most efficient building code. Why don't we just copy paste that? Where applicable. I'm not saying just build Swedish houses everywhere where it doesn't make sense.
Well, you can't everywhere, no. I see why it needs to be per country as well, especially depending on conditions and all of that.
Why per country? Why not per area?
Or per area.
You know,
makes it even more complicated, but whatever.
If the German ground is different from the Swedish ground, I understand, but that's not a Germany versus Sweden thing, it's a conditions of where you build thing, isn't it?
I think we can all agree on base rules.
That would be nice.
Oh well.
And find out who's profiting and vote them out. Yes. Yes.
Everyone.
Too many of them, unfortunately.
It's like asking who's on the Epstein files.
If they just build a new Amazon warehouse, they could just use it as housing like we did in Mexico. Really? That's fucked up. In Germany, that wouldn't fly. There are different building codes for warehouses and for residential areas. That's also why, for example, it takes a lot of work to use an old warehouse and make that into apartments. You can't just go there.
I think that's the same everywhere, though. We even have laws in the Netherlands that based on the, what do you call it, not license, contract, based on the type of house you ordered or that how it has been made, you are not allowed to sleep in certain rooms. So you might not be allowed legally to sleep at your ground floor and only on the 2nd floor, for example, because that's not how it was requested.
Everybody, please, whenever you get the chance, do whatever you can to make this world a simpler and better place. We all need it everywhere.
I have a bruise on the side of my hand and it is really annoying.
Why is it a bruise?
Like, you can barely see it, but it's so painful. And
nobody can see it anyway if you hold it under the camera.
You can't see it even if I would show it on the camera. See, it feels like under the skin. It's like a bump here. But every time...
Here.
Yeah. I put it like on the side. It hurts. It's so annoying.
Have you tried not touching it?
Oh, now you can see it there.
Yeah. It just turned blue in front of my eyes.
Yeah, it depends on there.
You just have to believe me when I see a bruise.
It's so annoying because I put my hand on the table like this.
So you bruised your own hand while reading a visual novel?
Oh, that seems likely.
Okay. So what you're saying is invest in coal? No. Coal is a finite resource. Wind, solar, iron.
I don't know why I saw that as Coke, but...
You could invest in Coca-Cola, but given their allegiances, I would not do that.
I didn't mean that type of Coke, but...
Oh, cocaine.
It's profitable.
Alright, before Tifa gives you all life advice that nobody should actually follow, let me quickly see if there's somebody to rate.
Don't do crack cocaine, kids. Colombian around Europe. I feel like Colombian has a better reputation.
I will not advocate or speak against either because I like living and I don't need a hit on my head. That's why I'm pressing this button. Thank you everybody for starting chapter 8 with us tonight. We're back tomorrow with more chapter 8. Bye!
Thank you.